Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's Livestream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream.
All right, I would say good morning, but it's definitely not morning. Welcome to the late night live stream. We're going to be working on art. My friend Scott Cirkland is joining on this live stream. I know that for what I'm going to be working on during this stream is trying to rough out page 155 of Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Earlier today we finished the roughs for page 154. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on. Scott, what are you going to be working on while we stream?
Same thing as before. I don't know how long I'll be streaming. I think my girlfriend's on her way home, so we'll see what she wants to do. But I'm working on my cover. Oh, I'll show her. Let me turn my camera. But I'm working on this cover for my new comic book. Whether this is the actual cover, I don't know. But this is... basically, I'm penciling out this big giant cover that I will be taking with me to the retreat that we're all going to be at. And I'll be working on inking it there, but I want to get it all prepped. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see if my camera's ready. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you can see that.
I like it.
I'm just working on the logo right now. So I typically, I would put little X's here to just insinuate that's where the black goes, but I want to have it look as close to the actual drawing. So when I go to ink it, there's no, confusion or anything. Because I usually don't ink usually I don't do stuff like this anyway. I'll blue line it and print it out or whatever. But
yeah, no, that's actually good advice. I personally like to even fill my blacks in general with when I work traditionally, unless it's like a massive space, or a sky or something like that, where it's like a night sky. In those cases, maybe you're better off just but yeah, I think in cases like that where it's going to help you kind of work out light and dark before you commit.
It's already been worked. I already did the whole. If you watch Josh's previous stream, you can see where I already inked the whole thing digitally, and now I'm doing it. I'm just basically redoing it. So. But it's going to have a really nice physical piece when I'm done, so I'm excited.
I'm very excited about that. That sounds cool. Well, for some reason, neighbors have been setting off fireworks, which is weird. I don't know why. It's a little far after. Is there another, holiday or something right now?
No, but people probably maybe they didn't light off all the fireworks, and because I think they have. I don't know how it is in California, but here I think you can only sell them certain times of the year.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, and I do think some people stock up and then realize crap, I got a bunch left, or it's like teenagers that are like, haha, I found some fireworks. Anyhow, so dogs were a little freaked out, so I took about 20-ish minutes longer than I intended, because they finally calmed down and stuff. So I'm gonna be trying to work on page 155. I got to kind of work out the sequence. I know that on the previous page we got Sophie kind of taking off her gloves. Robert's kind of explaining to her, she's basically asking how Elizabeth's doing, and Robert kind of I was going to say passive aggressively, but much more boldly. It's kind of like, well, she's not been doing good because she wasn't feeling good, and then you've been bombarding her with like these parties and these seances and stuff. And he was basically kind of reiterating that she's constantly feeling sick anyway, and so this isn't making her feel better. And kind of passive aggressively hinting that Sophie shouldn't be visiting. So in this page, it's like it's going to be the thing I got to draw first is Sophie fidgeting with her gloves, gloves. I almost said gloves. And Sophie's going to be saying, Mr. Browning, if you're implying I've somehow aggravated Ba's illness, I am sorry. My only desire is to bring her joy. And we as readers know she's full of it because she's like studying with Home, this like seance artist, to kind of learn how to swindle Elizabeth. And then every time she's doing these seances with Elizabeth, she's like, I hear your brother. Like, he's her dead brother. So she's like definitely exploiting something. So anyhow, that's where we're at. That's what I got to rough. So first thing I'm going to rough is Sophie fidgeting with her gloves and saying, Mr. Browning, if you're implying I have somehow aggravated Ba's illness, I'm sorry. My only desire is to bring her joy. So that's what I'm going to work on roughing at first. I want to start kind of establishing the room a little bit too, because at this point they should be in the room. The Room. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. What do you think of The Room?
Well, I made a pack of wax packs based on The Room. Yeah, you know what? I honestly, I don't think I've actually watched The Room. I've seen clips of it like a million times.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen the highlights, but I don't know that I've actually sat through the whole movie.
It's really hard to get through.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's why I haven't.
Yeah.
But I know the clips that I've seen very well.
But it's been a long time since I've seen it. And I don't know if I ever saw the movie based on The Room. I've
seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was
How was
good.
that?
It was good. It was really good. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's kind of tainted now. I forgot what's his name actually did, but apparently it was something bad. So there's so many scandals that I can't keep track of them all. But
yeah, it really is. Could people stop getting famous and being creepy?
Yeah,
like that wouldn't be a bad start. I mean, I know all people are flawed, but like shouldn't there be like a slight limit to like how bad? Although honestly, to be fair, Tommy Wiseau, I think that guy's name is.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been kind of off.
No, it wasn't Tommy Wiseau. It was the whoever created the documentary. He's a big star.
Seth MacFarlane.
No.
Seth Rogen.
No. Why can't I think of his name? His brother's also acting, and I don't think he has any scandals. But
now I can't remember.
Anyone in the chat? Why is it not? It'll come to me. But what's his name? He was in that movie where he's that mountain climber. He was in Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He played.
Oh my gosh, what's his name? He was in the TV show too. That Seth Rogen was in. Same TV show.
Oh, it just came to me and it went away. Oh man, I hate that.
I'm blanking out on the TV show, which was really good. Freaks and Geeks.
Is it Dave or is that his brother?
No, I know who you're talking about now.
But it just came to me and I forgot. Franco. Is it Dave Franco?
James Franco.
James Franco.
There we go. I didn't know he had a thing.
Yeah, he had some kind of a scandal. Yeah.
Okay. Well, stop having scandals, guys. Come on. Yeah, I'm trying to think of you know what might in a couple years be harder to just think of art that's good that didn't have some crappy scandal.
Yeah.
I feel like that we might be heading to an age where you'll have to think for a while. What doesn't have a scandal? I mean, there was definitely the CircWorks scandal of '93.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Let's not bring that up.
You're like, I tried to.
People forgot about that. Remember?
I feel like you and I should do just apology videos for some scandal that never happened.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Where you're just like, I've thought about
It's
things
hard
a
enough
lot, and I'm
not.
just
It's hard enough trying not to get canceled, but just to cancel yourself for something you didn't do is probably not the best.
well, I mean,
idea.
just like, because the apology video is kind of like a thing that you see a lot. At
unless
least I've seen
unless
a
it's
lot.
something for if you make it something that's totally like
Well, it could
I-
just be really
I forgot
nondescript.
I forgot to put the milk away or something like
That actually would be good. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be good. Or you could just apologize and never say what for. I don't know. Yeah. I do wonder though, like, I don't know, like sometimes I'll hear about these scandals and be like, am I crazy for being like not that crazy? Like, it always just seems really outlandish. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
How
know.
hard is it to be a decent human being? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I don't know, you know. So I got to draw Sophie fidgeting with her gloves. That's a weird thing to draw.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Kind of it's not real philosophical, but would you, if the publisher on this book would have offered you the book, but then said, the only thing is you can't share any of it online, would you have taken on the project? Because that's a big part of. I mean, you would have just been totally in the dark if you've had all this time and you couldn't share any of it. Because that's a great thing about this, that they're letting you share the.
Yeah, I'm
progress of
glad
the
that they've
book.
been on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have probably advocated for it, but at the end of the day, that's kind of the call of the publisher.
Yeah.
I think it benefits to kind of see the process as it goes.
I think so, yeah. But some people are old school, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you had a plot that's like got a huge twist, like a massive twist, like I think that could be problematic. But the thing is, I tend to think like the audience you're trying to get after publication isn't going to be like your core immediate following. It's going to be trying to branch out from that. So I feel like building up the base.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess for the last issue of Young and the Dead, I didn't really share anything because it was all spoilers.
Yeah.
But with this one, I don't know that there's going to be, because Young and the Dead has a lot of mystery to it.
Yeah.
This one, not so much. So, but I did share plenty of the early, Young and the Dead. It just, once I got to that last issue, it was just like it left on such a cliffhanger with everyone's kind of fate in the balance. I didn't want to give up what happened to anyone.
Yeah.
But with this one, I mean, there might be some major reveals and things like that, but for the most part, I mean, I haven't written it yet, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of, spoilers or things that I won't be able to show,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's bad to build up groundswell. I think I do think like there's ways that I've been sharing it that's a little different. Like with the streams, if somebody's gonna sit through a stream for like 3 hours, I don't mind if they know a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I want to kind of reward people who have been really paying attention. But when it comes to like, like posting on Instagram or whatever, I'll just post like a little snapshot of like a single panel, and I try not to give away anything in those scenarios,
Yeah.
So I'll like block out script or like if I do show text, it's going to be really kind of hard to kind of see. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
But I feel like, I think it's pretty progressive and smart of the publisher to be okay with that,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like even the comics kayfabe thing was a really good model of that, like where they shared a ton of the process.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for
and
sure.
plot. And I think that gets buy-in. Now, keep in mind, we're not comics kayfabe or anything, but it's like, but I do think, I don't know, I think transparency is kind of, at least for now, kind of the way of the future.
Yeah.
I hope.
I miss that show so much, but it's we had Andy Belanger, and him and Carl Kershaw are doing something kind of similar. That's pretty cool, but I guess they're doing it in season, so they're not putting anything out now. And then I've
Okay.
been watching a lot of Ink Pulp. They're doing some cool stuff. So there's some stuff for me to look at as I get back to doing more comics content on YouTube. But
Yeah.
but I'm
Yep.
not like a comic historian. So when
Yeah.
they like cartoonist kayfabe, they go deep into all these artists and their books and their history, and I'm just not that versed, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, I know what I know, but it's not super super intense.
Yeah, Thomas. Hi, Thomas. He's joining the chats. By the way, Dylan made it to number 1 again. Like Dylan's like
Awesome.
the super,
Yeah.
the super
I don't know
fan.
how he does it. I don't know
I
how
don't
he
know.
does
He's
it.
amazing. He's always first there. So thank you, Dylan. But Thomas said, I think those who followed the whole project would be more likely to buy the finished project. Yeah, I
Yeah, for
would think
sure.
so.
I mean, that's the whole webcomics. I mean, I'm not really doing webcomics where I'm putting up pages, but
Yeah.
I think the same can be done with the process,
Yeah.
as putting up finished pages.
I was going to have her leaning forward, but actually, I think her leaning back might actually be a better posture here. It's always tough when it's tough to me in comics sometimes. Some things that translate well in a script are hard to depict in a comic, but I kind of enjoy the challenge.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think I've ever worked on anyone else's script. I mean, I've written scripts for other people, but other than that, I mean, I've never, everything I've done has been my own work.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one with this because it's kind of collaborative, but there are definitely interesting challenges. I've had that happen with my own scripts before though, where I wrote something out and it sounded like it would work.
Yeah, yeah,
And then when I get to sketching it out, I'm like, ooh, that's a lot more complex to make work than I thought. But that's where I do the thing that Gary always talks about, like Gary Hodges, friend of the show, Gary Hodges. But you know how he'll always talk about how he separates like writer from artist, Gary?
right.
I've been doing that. I think Jacob's Apartment was like the only graphic novel I did where I didn't really separate. Like I kind of, it was all fused together, you know?
Yeah,
But now I do try to kind of view it like I'm going to make the script the best thing I can, even with my own scripts, and then kind of let the chips fall when they may, where they may with interpreting it, trying to stay true to the revised script, you know? Every once in a while you got to change something though. Like even in this script, I didn't like her being like, she's coming to talk to him in the middle of the night, and Mr. Browning tells Wilson, like, tell whoever it is to go away, right?
mm-hmm.
His maid. It didn't make sense to me that in the script then he walks in and Wilson has already allowed her to be in and say, oh, she won't leave. And I'm like, that just doesn't sound right, because I feel like, you know, Wilson's a pretty loyal maid, so she probably would have made her wait outside. So I think it makes more sense for him to meet her at the door, you know, because Wilson's talked to her and she refuses to leave. And then he lets her in, you know.
Yeah.
That just makes more sense. Or she kind of barges her way in. So I'm changing a little bit of the staging, but I don't think in a way that it's going to be all that bad. But it is funny, things like something like somebody fidgeting. What's up?
Do you just do that, or you talk with the writer first?
If it's a minor change like that, I'll just do it, and then the writers got right of approval on you know, roughs and stuff. We're collaborating on it. Generally, most of those changes they haven't had an issue with, because it's just like a visual change. But you know, but yeah, that's why like doing roughs is a great thing. You know, I would hate to like commit to like a final page without that being roughed. You know.
Yeah.
I kind of want this to be a little further away. I'm just trying to kind of think it out here. Roughs are so fun though, because they're kind of non-committal. You're not like married to anything. I don't know. It's to me, roughs are really fun. You like work stuff out, you know?
Yeah. I don't know if I could do roughs and live stream at the same time. I mean, I can do something like this or ink or
Yeah.
yeah, maybe I guess I could. I mean, I've done sketches and stuff live stream, so I guess I could. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it depends. Like, there's definitely days where I don't feel like live streaming while roughing. You
Yeah.
know, it depends if I'm having like a day where I'm on or off. But I actually find the live stream to be a really good way to keep myself accountable to like staying focused.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, because it's like, well, I'm being filmed while I'm doing it, so it's you know,
Yeah.
but it can be bad. Like if I don't get in the zone, you know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good or bad at it. I don't know. But I think you could do it pretty easy because you've done like sketch covers and stuff, you know.
Yeah. 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 And that a lot of times because I do them in comic stores, I got the actual client like hovering over me, watching me do it.
Yeah,
That's kind of tough, but yeah.
that took a long time. That's one of the hardest things I think about doing commercial art in general. I made this room way too tiny. Suddenly, Sophie Eckley just became a giant. So now I have to make her actually make more sense. Even if this is a rough, it's like I don't want to completely distort perspective to where human beings are giants in a landscape, you know? Yeah, it is uncomfortable when it's like you have a client hovering over you. I think that was the hardest learning curve of working on commercially in-house. That's always a tough one.
Did you have I mean I've worked for studios and stuff and I've never typically they aren't hovering over me. I did have this one I was like in between like jobs and I just needed something so I started working for this one guy and that was his thing. Yeah, he would just like sit over me and like, oh, do that or do this or like, and I'm like, no. That lasted about a month and that was it.
Yeah,
like,
that can be
out of here.
that can be a terror. Yeah, definitely not that, but I do remember in house like having a few moments where like the art director would come by just to be like, oh, see that, try this, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not like the whole creation of it,
right.
But I remember that taking a really long time to get used to because at first I'd just like almost freeze up and then be like really slow. Yeah. But I feel like when you've done it long enough, you know, you get kind of comfortable, you know. The other thing is just getting like older in art and realizing you can't be precious especially with roughs, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a lot of problems doing pencils and being watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I for the most part I do too. If it's something if it's a sketch cover,
yeah,
I'm not as like precious with it. But if
Yeah.
it's like a page that's gonna be like printed or something,
yeah,
then yeah, because I want it to really look the best it can be, and it's hard to do that, you know, when you're also either trying to carry on a conversation or just you know people are watching you. At least for me.
yeah, yeah. No, I totally feel you on that. So that comic shop that you went to,
Yeah.
is that like super close? Is that like
no,
like,
not really. Not to
okay.
me. I mean, it's I don't know. It was about 30 minutes away.
Oh, okay, so that's still doable.
Yeah,
you know? It's not like hours away, right?
I don't know where I don't know where his bar is, or even what the bar is called. The comic store is called High Score Comics, but it's fairly new, so I don't even think it's. I mean, I found it online, but then when I went to map it, it didn't. My dogs are going to go crazy, I think, because Jen's home. But
hey, that's okay. You're like 30 minutes before my dogs are going to freak out.
But what was I saying? We were talking about the comics.
You were saying it's kind of new, so you had to look up
directions. Yeah. So, but it's he kind of took over an old comic shop named it was Jesse James Comics, and I think Jesse James moved to Florida, I think, and he opened a comic store out there. But so if I just search, then I go, oh, I'll just search because Jesse James was still listed as far as addresses, so that took me there. If you can't find high score comics, then search for Jesse James if you're in Arizona looking for a comic shop. But it was a pretty cool place, big store. Like I said, he's got the comics, and then he kind of rents out space to get like a collectible, company that sells, little statues and all that, collectible stuff, and also a gaming guild thing.
That's wild. Have you ever you definitely have done like role playing and stuff, right?
Not a lot. I've done like with my son's really big into D&D and stuff, and he's created his own game. So I've played like his game.
Yeah.
Like I've played it like 2 or 3 times, and one of those times was just building the character and doing all that. So I'm familiar enough with it, but I haven't done a lot of it. And
I was just curious because like I've always wondered what because the figures are so cool, like Warhammer. It seems it's funny that like I've done like D&D back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But Warhammer is like on a different like it just looks visually really stunning and fun.
Yeah. So
it also scares the crap out of me because it looks like super expensive and time consuming.
So I have when I was going through my my transformational leadership training.
Yeah.
My buddy in that program was he painted. I think it was Warhammer. I'm pretty sure it was Warhammer. Does Warhammer have like big like mech tanks and things, or is that
like mech tanks and like trolls and but it's like it's like a very mechanized
right,
like trolls and
So
goblins
he painted those, and he was in a bunch of magazines, and he's won awards and stuff, and he's like really good. And just looking at that stuff just blew me away. The amount of detail and stuff that he was putting into it and everything. And then my son, my other son, my younger son, he wanted to get into painting figures and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm like, cool, yeah, just because I'm comparing it to like comics and stuff. And I'm like, just don't get frustrated with it. It's going to take some time. And like in no time, he's painting these amazing figures. He hasn't painted anything like recently, but I've got this. So if you see my videos, you see my little Playmobil guys back there.
Yeah.
From the movie cars. So they don't make they don't have a license for Batman, but I found this 60s Batmobile that's at the same scale.
It's so cool.
It's and it opens up. There's enough room for a figure, so I bought these little Playmobil figures, superhero Playmobil figures, and I gave them to my son to paint for me. To paint, like I sculpted the cowl and the Batman, and I did all that, and I gave them to paint them, and it's just been sitting there forever. He hasn't done it yet. But he picked it up really quick. I was surprised.
That is crazy, yeah. Because I don't know, like what I think of is like model painting. Because I don't know if you had that era, but there was definitely an era of time where I really liked. I mean, I didn't get into it as much as like my oldest brother, but I definitely did build a couple model cars for sure, and like model planes and stuff. But I remember trying to paint them and then like ruining a bunch because the model like paint was awful. It was like watery but like oily, and then you'd have to like mix it, and it just never dried smooth, and if you tried to spray paint it, it would like bubble. It was like a nightmare trying to get like a clean. But I think they might have better options of like paint now
for sure.
too,
because it's that enamel that I to this day I don't like enamel paints. Like I had to paint like this trailer back when I was doing the children's show. We were doing a trailer, paint a trailer with our characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I bought this sign painting paint. It's called One Shot, and it's like an enamel paint. And oh man, it was just because it takes forever to dry, even in Arizona, and it's just like it's really unforgiving, and I do not like enamel paint at all. But most of the stuff now is like I think it's more of an acrylic base.
Yeah, because back in the day, it did feel like trying to get nail polish to
Yeah.
sit like smooth, and it's like that's just not going to happen. Like,
Right.
yeah. And I remember the first time like failing at that, just like having spent like so long building this model, and then being like, no. Yeah. But that was pretty fun. I remember making an Apache helicopter model.
Yeah, I think I may have
Yeah.
tried models a little bit, but I never really got into it. And
Yeah.
also back then it was, you had to glue them all together. Now I think you can find ones that you snap together and stuff. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I never really got into
It was
models.
fun until you like glued a model piece to your finger, and then you had to X-Acto it off. Not your finger, but like just that cut off was
Yeah,
awkward. Every once in a while, you'd take a little skin. It's
yeah.
yeah. What about the Universal? Remember the Universal monster
Oh,
model
those are
kits?
so. I love looking at those. I never had them. I don't even know if I was that aware of them.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of stuff on collectibles and stuff like that, and especially Universal and all that kind of stuff. So I've seen them.
Yeah,
There's a
that
guy.
used to be the only way you could get like a
Yeah.
detailed,
Oh yeah.
because they were so detailed compared to, and it's like it's funny because now, after you have things like McFarlane Toys and stuff like blowing that out of the
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
it's like you look back on those figures and it's like they weren't as realistic as they seemed at the time,
Yeah.
compared to what they can achieve now. But um,
But some of the box art and all that kind of stuff. There's a guy.
oh yeah,
I was just watching a video of his before this show, but I think he's called Figure Fiend, and he's on YouTube. But he makes custom like figures. He sculpts them, and he does a lot of Mego style stuff where
okay. Does he
he
do like composite ones or just completely out of you
like
know?
he'll stuff that hadn't been produced before.
Oh, nice.
Like he'll do like he did some of the Universal Studios monsters, and he was doing like Clash of the Titans and all kinds of crazy stuff. But and he sews, either him or somebody else, his girlfriend or somebody else sews all the outfits for the like Mego style figures, and he does the sculpt and then 3D prints them, and he sells some of them, but he makes like a low batch and just they sell out really quick. But they're
Yeah,
really
those indie toy guys, man.
yeah.
And it's kind of amazing with like 3D printing too, the level of detail that people can do on action figures and stuff if they choose to.
Yeah.
I need to talk to Corey because I know Corey was doing like 3D modeling with some kind of program that looked a lot easy. Maybe it's not easy,
Oh
but
yeah.
I suck so bad at 3D modeling. Like,
I think I need to get that and download it and bring it with me so like he can show me some pointers before I got to remember to do that. Because I was
yeah,
talking about wanting to learn how to do that because I want to build some of these mechs from this. I want to 3D
yeah,
print some of these mechs from the show. I mean this comic.
yeah, that would be really cool. Might even be helpful too if you 3D print the mechs because you'd have that
Oh yeah,
reference
for
too.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Because these things are like I can kind of like I drew the kaiju. I'm like, okay, what would he look like from this angle? And I can kind of look at my one sketch and kind of figure that out.
Yeah,
Same with the mechs, but it still would be way easier. Like the hardest part, I think about you can't really see it. Maybe you can see kind of in reverse a little bit. But the hardest thing about this mech is he's got all this graffiti around it, and to kind
yeah,
of keep all that graffiti on model is going to be a pain in the ass. It's like drawing somebody with a lot of tattoos.
yeah. Although it can be fun and have a little
Yeah,
bit of freedom too because it can mask stuff too.
yeah,
But you're right. Like, yeah, it's funny. Like it's always fun to do like Easter eggs and stuff of like like a
yeah,
T-shirt design or something like that. And then the 12th time you've had to draw it, you're like, can I have just done like a white T-shirt?
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I'll probably draw all the tattoos by themselves, just so I can look at them. And I
Yeah.
mean, I could actually take them into like Clip Studio and skew them and put them on, but I think that would take longer than just drawing them on there to
Yeah,
do all
but like
that.
knowing what they are isn't
Yeah,
a bad idea.
yeah,
So there's a couple versions of that. I mean, one is as you go, you're gonna learn.
yeah,
you know, At least, one of the reasons I don't do a lot of turnarounds, is I kind of figure I'm going to have to draw the character from all these different things anyway.
Yeah.
But there are definitely times where I felt like maybe I should have done character turnarounds,
Yeah.
But I always feel like, why turn it? I mean, unless you have to for like a pitch or something, like you're going to have to do it anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I usually don't do a lot of turnarounds. Like I said, I mean, I might do that with the human characters because I gotta kind of decide on a style of what the human characters are going to look like.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. What's their scale compared to the mechs?
Well, I mean, obviously they can fit inside the mech. I mean, these things are skyscraper sized mechs, so they're pretty big. It's weird because like there's certain things like I don't know if you can see based on this reverse image that's backwards, but on one hand he's got. Hold on one second. I'll be right back.
You don't need to hurry.
That is so cool.
Okay. Well, it's good. I'm just gonna watch TV.
Okay.
I'm gonna shut your door, okay?
Okay.
Well, Josh, I said hi.
Yep. Jen says hi.
Aw, hi, Jen.
He says hi. All right. So like he's got on one hand he's got these giant like spray cans that either they shoot out or they shoot paint or some kind of could be acid or whatever.
Yeah.
But they're not to scale, so they would have to actually manufacture like find a way to make giant spray cans. And then he's got these on the other one here. He's got like a big 45 adapter that's like a blade. So it's not actually a 45 adapter, but it's based on that. So they would have had to like metal, cut it out of metal or whatever. So there's stuff
dude,
like
that's
that.
so cool. I didn't even see the 45 coming out there.
You can't. I don't know if you can.
So
see
the
it.
spacer bar, that's awesome, dude.
He's actually got the kaiju actually has one that's stuck in him, like it got shot at him. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I can't wait, man. And you know what? That's speaking well of that image because it has so much detail that it looks like one of those ones that will reward you for like multiple looks.
That's kind of what I want this comic to be, is just a lot of detail and stuff. Not quite Jeff Darrow levels of detail, but something like that where there's look at that.
Well, I mean, that's what was so fun about like Gundam is a really fun thing to just look at. I remember actually this is a thing. So my dad, after he left graphic design, right, for a brief while was managing a hobby store. And so that might be partially why I did make models, sometimes.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they'd get those like import like Japanese models, of like from Gundam, and you just see it and be like, what the, like, this is the coolest thing ever, because just like the detail of those mechs is like half the fun. So I think that's a smart call.
Yeah, I want my boys, back when we were, they were younger, I would make like Halloween costumes for them and stuff. And we went to like Phoenix Comic Con and they went in the costume contest and they won a bunch of model kits and with some Gundams and stuff like that. So we had them, and I think I must have sold them or got rid of them because no one ever built them, but I wish I still had them because they're kind of good for reference and stuff.
Yeah, like, you could always do that like splice kit thing too with like, but I think you've been drawing long enough to where I don't think you're going to need it in 3 dimensions,
Yeah. It is, it is.
That used to be a project that I'd annoy my students with, was making them do a turnaround, but I'm talking like turnaround, like in-house turnaround, which is like if you had to send it to make a toy.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And that
this
always
doesn't have
used
to be that accurate. But.
Yeah, that always used to drive students nuts because like they'd be like, "Yeah, I can draw things turned around," and then when you start going, "Well, why is this like 5 eyebrows higher than like?" And not just like facial like lines, but you just start noticing like, well, you have this fold in the hair, like it is doing super accurate turnarounds hard, but if you're not having to like mold it or print it, it's like it's not rocket science like having to turn around. Although you're right, if you have like a bunch of like strange details that you're going to have to turn around a lot. That can be hard.
It does help when you've got all this detail and it is kind of a sketchy look that it's a little forgiving.
Yeah. Well, and also, who wants it to be perfection?
Right.
Because at that point,
Right.
just make a 3D model, you know?
Right. Yeah. I definitely don't want to do that. That's the reason why I didn't use any straight edges when I was doing the, the outline of the character.
I think that's one of the coolest. I don't know. I'm so excited about that cover, especially now that I see the spacer in there.
I changed him around. I wasn't my original design. He had kind of had like a gas mask on. It was the design I did when I was over the other retreat, and I just wasn't digging it for the main character. And then I just like, oh, you know what? And then I started to think. I was trying to think of the pilots. What they in the beginning they're just going to be regular guys, but eventually they'll have I want them to have their own costumes, kind of like like Power Rangers, but instead of those suits they have, it's almost like Adidas tracksuits and then a cool helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the helmets could be based on different style of Kangles or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh no, I said, I think this guy'd look cool if he kind of had like a Kangle, like a LL Cool J style Kangle.
Yeah.
As kind of like a helmet. And so I did that and I dig that. I think that's way better. Looks way better.
Yeah.
So.
And weirdly feels like way more mech,
Yeah, I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Robert looks away. Okay.
I'm getting close to having the lettering done. I can start doing some of the.
That is pretty exciting. Yeah, that's the best is to me the lettering, I try to kind of when I'm doing final art, that's usually what I try to get done first is the lettering and the panel borders and stuff.
Yeah.
And then most of the straight edge work, anything I need straight edged, I'll just start working on. And then from there, I'll just then you get the fun of just getting into brush and ink.
Yeah. I was going to ask if you're more get the, I mean, I like doing type. I mean, this kind of thing's just tedious. But I like designing the type, but I mean, and I like the whole process, but the
tedious part is kind of fun though, too.
It is, but are you the kind of person that likes to get that stuff out of the way and save the kind of fun stuff for last?
Yeah, that to me is that's the work part, and then the fun part's the inking's the funnest part.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
Especially the meditative part where you're and I think that's why I like brush so much. Although I will say this, so I know on our show and stuff when people use quill, I'm always blown away.
Oh, I'm not. I forgot that I'm not even showing. I had to set my battery and I forgot to
show what you're working on. So yeah, I've had to teach quill, right?
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's made me, just do a basic Hunts 102,
Mm-hmm.
And I've been why have I been trash talking quill? It's not that hard to use.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was in my head thinking it was so hard to use, It dries slower though.
Yeah.
Than microns. That's my biggest issue with them.
Yeah, I just started trying to figure out different inks and stuff. And this paper I bought a whole sheet of this paper at I think Hobby Lobby. And they only had one brand and it wasn't Strathmore and it wasn't Canson. So I'm like, oh, but that's all they had. So I picked up a thing and I got home and I inked it. It just bled. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And then I realized it wasn't the paper, it was the ink. I bought that carbon ink.
Oh yeah, you were mentioning that, yeah.
Yeah, and
what is that for? What is carbon ink for?
It's for refilling fountain pens, but somebody recommended it as an inking, for inking, but it does not work. And maybe there's a different kind of paper that it works on.
Yeah,
but definitely the combination did not work. So I'm gonna take and dump that stuff, put it in a jar or something.
Yeah,
and because the jar it comes in is really cool. It's got this little reservoir that makes it so it's always kind of even as far as where you put your quill or your whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to explain, but so I'm gonna get my was it Black Star ink and put it in there. And but also I have to worry about the plane because I think that bottle's a little bigger. So they only let you bring
Oh,
so
ink
much
gets
liquid.
weird on a plane too. I will say this. I made the mistake of bringing V-ball pens on a plane.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. Like, I don't know if it's the carry-on or whatever, but like those V-ball pens were just like they just.
What's a V-ball pen? I'm not familiar with that.
These guys. Let me see if I have one.
Oh, let me switch my thing over.
It's these guys. It's my favorite kind of pen to just sketch with.
Okay.
Right?
Oh yeah, I know those. Yeah.
These do not travel well in the
Okay.
air because what happened is when I got back from the flight, they had all exploded out of the front.
Oh,
Like something
geez.
about the air pressure at that height just makes the ink just go like.
Well,
Yeah,
hopefully
so like I had
I
a
don't think
bag
that would
with just
happen with
inks.
a bottle, especially if the bottle's not totally full.
No. If it's a sealed bottle, you'll be fine. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, be careful with like live, cartridge type.
Yeah, I don't know that I have any of those.
That's just a. Yeah, I don't think you'll have too many problems. But I was surprised. I had never known that was going to be an issue with a plane.
But I was just thinking the amount, because you can only take so much liquid on, so I have to make sure that it falls in the right category, the amount of liquid you're allowed to bring on.
Yeah. Liquid's a pain on flights. Yeah.
I heard that they stopped the take your shoes off rule.
Oh yeah, the shoes really?
That's what I heard. Although
I haven't flown in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've got pre-check, which I don't have to take my shoes off because I guess if you give them enough money, they'll like, oh, you don't have to take your shoes off. but I think now I think for everyone they don't have to take their shoes off anymore. I think.
Okay, well that's good. Cause yeah, that sucked. It's funny too because I've heard a lot of that stuff. I mean, this might just be an old wives' tale. Like maybe it is really useful or something, but I've heard most of it's kind of security theater anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously there was a problem because that's how they originally snuck stuff on. But now it's like there's got to be a better way to do it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't mind checking
Right.
and stuff. I'm just kind of like I forget what it was, but there was an article I read on it a while ago where it was talking about how it really hasn't, like they don't really catch a lot of people.
Oh, that's not good.
So it's kind of like, but it makes people feel safer,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a it's security theater more than it is security.
Right.
But that in itself makes it a little more secure because it gives the perception of it being secure, which will like kind of function like a lock on a door, where
And it could just be that the reason why they're not, people have realized that if you know that they're not going to do that, they're just not going to try that, or they already tried that. So yeah, so
yeah, kind of wild, but interesting. I don't know if any of that's true, so I don't want to be spreading misinformation, guys. So I will say I have no idea if that's true. It's just a long time ago I heard something like that. Yeah, so we got this amazing. I want her a little more annoyed. Okay. This is going to be the hand. Yeah, it's that's coming along good though, Scott. Like that looks really nice.
yeah, I'm just about.
Be fun when you get to get into the mechs and the fun stuff.
Not too much longer now.
Yeah, it's funny how some people like. I've talked to people who cannot stand drawing people, and that's always a hard one for me to understand because like that's my favorite thing is drawing characters, and then drawing backgrounds is like that's like the. I mean, I've learned to enjoy that, but it's just funny how people are different in that sense. You know, some people
Yeah.
really like drawing like all the stuff but people.
Well, this I'll be drawing pretty much all that stuff. I'll be drawing monsters and people and robots and buildings, a lot of buildings. You know, it's hard to do
Yeah, I can't
kaiju
wait.
without drawing buildings.
Well, what's cool about a kaiju comic too is you can really play with scale.
Yeah, yeah,
Like you could do panels where it's like a really like small person, you know,
yeah.
juxtaposed with like a tall panel that's like a full mech. You know, there's so much fun stuff you can do with with scale on that. You know. Yeah. Was it Gary? Did Gary get the Transformers collection, or was it GI Joe Gary got?
I think he may have got, I know he got G.I. Joe. I don't know if he got Transformers 2, but he definitely got G.I. Joe.
Because that Transformers one that was on Kickstarter looked amazing.
Oh, here, I got this. You may already have it, but I got this based on Jim's recommendation. This Sci-Fu by Yehudi Marcano.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's so good.
It's great, and it's totally hip-hop, and it's definitely a totally different style than what I'm going for, but
Yeah,
but it's cool. So I'm wondering how many other kind of hip hop themed comics are out there. You know, I mean, there's Hip Hop Family Tree, obviously, but yeah, this is a really cool. I just ordered I read this one, loved it, so I just ordered the sequel to it.
yeah,
So
he's
I'm going to bring
amazing.
that with me to this, probably read on the plane or just to read while I'm up there.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect time to kind of read comics. Like that's one of my biggest problems with. I was talking about this the other day, but like one of the frustrating parts about making comics is trying to make time to read comics. You know?
Yeah,
Because it's kind of hard to like you can't like check out an audiobook of a comic like most of the time, you know.
yeah,
So it's kind of frustrating because it's like I love comics, but you know I have a stack, man. I have to read Keith and Scott's comics, and I literally got every comic they've made, but I need to make the time. Maybe I'll bring those with me on the trip. So like if I start getting, you know, like I need a little break from working.
yeah.
Reading's fun, man. It's just I don't get a lot of time to read.
Yeah, I mean, I've got just a stack of comics, but I would like to. I have to kind of brush up on because I've read the first few trades of like Kadoja and Second Shift, but I
Yeah.
probably want to reread them and then get up to speed on them.
Yeah, it would be fun. I'm gonna need to read those just to get up to speed and be able to talk to Keith and Scott about
Yeah.
their work. And also, I just they're beautiful looking books, so it's like I want to read them.
Yeah,
My problem is I don't want to do them like a disservice by just like skimming, you know.
right.
But yeah, maybe tomorrow I'll rock that or something. Because it's beautiful stuff. It's just okay. Here we go. So we have oh, that makes more sense. Do you have the same pet peeve I do with orphans?
Orphans meaning like lettering.
Like a single word alone in a word bubble.
It depends. At the top or bottom, no. I mean, because with the way I don't like, I'm looking at your word balloon there, and it's not like a ellipse sort of.
Yeah,
So the
it
way
will
I
be.
do
But
mine is kind of, you've got your ellipse, but I never do like a I always tweak it so it's not a perfect ellipse.
yeah.
But typically, because it's like that, you've got shorter words on top
Yeah.
and on the bottom. So often I'll have like a one word.
Yeah.
The problem is
I
when you
think
get
you
a
cut
really
out.
long word to start off the
I
sentence.
can't hear you.
Oh, what happened?
You said top and bottom, and then
Okay.
I lost you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so one, maybe I do like one word on the top, one word on the bottom, and then it expands when you get towards the middle and contracts
Yeah.
when you get towards the bottom. But the problem is when you have like a big long word as the first or last word, it's kind of, that's when it becomes a problem. So yeah, lettering can be tough.
I just don't
That's
like. Here's the thing. I mean, these are real sloppy. They'll be cleaned up.
yeah.
But let's say I'm doing just like a word balloon, right?
I'm
If
surprised
I,
you do that in the sketch form, that you actually put the lettering in.
well, it's funny because it helps.
I'm sure it does, but
When I go to final lettering, I usually have all my spacing worked out by the
yeah,
time I get to the final, even on this crappy version, because it kind of just roughly works out the same. But
yeah.
let's say if I said, get to the chopper.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there.
Like that
I
would
would have
bug
put,
the crap
yeah,
out of me because I would want the next to chopper.
to me, I would put get on top, then to the, and then chopper. That's the way I would do that one.
Okay, because I wouldn't want get alone.
Okay, see, but that's what I'm saying. For me, on the top and the bottom, if it's one word, it's fine because the oval shape is more slender on the top and bottom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyhow,
yeah,
it's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know
yeah.
why. But I would say my word balloons are not perfected. I feel like the thing that's fun about comics is you never get it perfect.
Yeah.
There's always a different way. All right. Where are we at? I knew it. I have an internal clock that tells me when it's been an hour. I'm gonna keep going, but I
that
will
didn't
tell you.
last.
What's up?
My battery didn't last very long, so
Oh no.
I don't know if my other ones are charged. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, you could stare at my bald spot all day, but I mean, let's see if I got another one that's charged. Yeah, I'm not used to streaming this long.
Yeah, it's a wild one. Oh, I gotta go for a second, so I'm gonna put on a trailer because I gotta return the dogs.
Do that, and I'll figure this out.
Okay. Let me throw that in.
I'm gonna go get a drink too.
Yes.
Our heroic adventurers fought orcs, monsters, sorcerers, necromancers. Now they find themselves in front of a mystical library. What shall they find? It's all in the roll of the dice. We've come this far. There's great power behind this door. I can feel it. We just have to get past it. This door is no match for my axe. I shall chop it down. You always want to use brute strength. Why don't you try knocking?
Okay. Let's see. False alarm. I thought it was my sister to pick up her dog, and it was another firework. So sounded like somebody knocking on the door. All right. Let's see here. Why did you refuse the painting I commissioned? I beg your pardon. Okay. I want this to be almost like the same angle here. Have it be like, I beg your pardon. How's everybody in the chats doing? Have you ever seen execute? Well, I think Scott is picking something up, but like, I was.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, have you ever seen like XQC's streams? He's like a very old streamer, commentary streamer that's existed online for years.
No.
Anyhow, he's one of the first like streamers, and he notoriously has like a really interesting accent because he's like French Canadian.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about that.
And so he'd be like, chat. Like, it's, I don't know. That's always kind of funny. What do we got here? Okay.
I'll be right back, all right?
No worries, no rush, no pressure. So we got the circling. Here, I'll just remove this off here, and then when he's back, he'll be back. So what I want to do is have like Robert kind of looking back. Dylan said, "I beg your most finest pardon." As a handsome man. I had actually forgotten about the handsome man thing till Frank was in chats a couple days ago and reminded me of that joke. That was a good joke. So I'm going to basically have... I think I'm going to kind of work it out before I add panel bordery stuff on it. Okay. So I want to have kind of a similar panel, but this time it's... You have to admit, it's kind of weird of Sophie in this story to basically, like... She shows up late at night. She's uninvited. She's not invited. She's, like, kind of worried about Elizabeth and stuff like that. And then out of nowhere is like, why didn't you like my painting? To Robert. I want him to be kind of speaking here, like, I beg your pardon. There we go. Okay, and then we'll have it... Okay. I beg your most finest pardon. Okay, we're gonna make that happen. Hopefully Scott's cool and okay. I think he might have run out of batteries, ladies and gents. All right, let's do this over here. We're getting there, guys. Oh, interesting. Okay. These are just very quick roughs, guys. Okay, I kind of like that. I want to have this kind of framed here. Maybe a little lower. Just kind of working things out a little bit. There we go. That's going to be a door. Again, it's kind of a rough, so we're just kind of working out our sequences here. Okay. All right. The next thing is going to be, you have never approved of my friendship with Ba. Oh, I think Scott might be back, but I don't know. He's got a, maybe he'll give me a thumbs up.
I'm back.
Oh, cool. How'd it go?
Good. I got a drink. I was talking to Jen, but yeah, she just said it's cool. Just keep doing what you're doing. She's just chilling out.
Okay.
She worked like a 12-hour shift, so she's just chilling out.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
continue to work on this. Oh, I wanted
Sounds
to show
good.
you something kind of cool. So I do the wax packs and stuff.
Yes.
I think I mentioned that I did. So I've got a Big Trouble in Little China wax pack, and then I got a message from somebody asking if there was a particular character in one of the cards.
Yeah.
And I said, did I tell you this story?
They were the extra, right?
Well, it wasn't an extra. It's a character in this story. It wasn't like a major character.
Oh, okay.
He plays
Yeah.
the golden 6-shooter. So I sent him some custom wax packs, and he sent me a bunch of autograph pictures and stuff. The guy's like 80 years old, but I mean, because he looks. This is the guy here.
Oh, that's so rad.
Yeah, but that's him. That's him from the thing. But yeah, so I'm
Oh,
sure
that's so cool.
I sent him a bunch of cards, so I assume he can go to shows and have the cards autographed. But he sent me all these Showdown in Little Tokyo. I haven't seen that movie, but definitely seen Big Trouble. But he sent me all these, headshots and some cards. It looks like he must have also been a martial artist, which I
Dude,
assume
that's
most
amazing.
of those guys. Martial artist and stuntman. Gerald Akamura plays the hard master and Nijitsu master who trained Storm Shadow in Snake Eyes 2001. Oh, okay. G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. That's cool. I didn't know that.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, cool.
I just think that's amazing, and I think it's really kind of cool that you did that for him too. I think that's really neat.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. It's cool because it wasn't hard to do because I already had the template.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of changing some type and stuff, and it gives me so I just put because I print 9 cards. There's 9 cards in a pack, and they're all different, but I just put all the same on one. Just printed a bunch out and cut them up, and now it's also I can throw if anyone orders that, I can throw that in as an extra.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of it worked out. I think good for everyone.
Dude, that's I just think that's amazing. I always think it's cool when art brings you kind of close to people that you may not have otherwise met, or people involved with properties and stuff. I just think that's really cool. What a cool coincidence, And that guy's gonna love that card more than anyone. You know, like
Well, yeah, and I'm sure, I think,
yeah,
I'm sure he collects. I mean, I know if I was in movies, I would collect whatever merchandise there was of any characters I had,
yeah.
and it's also something that, like I said, he can take to like shows and get autographs and, sign and stuff for people.
Oh yeah.
All right, what do I focus on first? The little corner box art, you think? Might as well.
For inking
For
or
the
for
for the cover
penciling?
here. Or penciling.
Penciling?
Oh, I'm not going to ink until I get to the retreat, but
I'd usually start like top left and
yeah,
and work your way.
I think I'll put my
And then if you get bored, you can always start working on the fun stuff. But
yeah. Well, this is fun. This is this is a little character. But
oh, I think that top left character is going to be one of the most
Yeah.
fun ones to do. Yeah,
yeah,
I love that too. That reminds me so much of Transformers because like. There's something about having, even though I think on Transformers it was just like a face usually in a box. Am I wrong?
I think it was. I think it was Optimus Prime like standing up. Or I could be thinking of the new Skybound because the Skybound they've got a corner box on the new ones too. So I could be wrong. Could be confusing the two.
Yeah, I wish I had had the cash flow to. Oh, you're right. It was just Prime.
Oh, are you looking at it?
Yeah, it was just so it was Optimus. So that's why it reminds me of it. Okay. Yeah.
But this is the era right before the standard kind of corner box that I grew up with. But I still love this layout. I think I like the circle better than the regular.
No, I do too. Yeah. But I'm just saying it has that thing that harkens back to that.
Yeah.
To me, I think it feels like it without being a direct rip, and it does feel more old school, than that. No, I think that template's cool because it's just strong. Yeah. Yeah, I forget why they used to change that box too. Do you remember the box? I remember now. The barcode box.
Oh yeah, I didn't put that on, but yeah, it was because one was direct market, one was yeah.
And so they'd have like just a blank barcode on the market ones that they could.
Yeah.
And then like on the others, they just like make a design inside the box. It's kind of interesting. All right. Now she's gonna be kind of doing like. Arms mad. You've never Stinky. That's her type right now is you've never approved of my friendship with Ba. So did you end up seeing A Complete Unknown at all?
Oh yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, so that girl is in the girl who plays Joan Baez, or Joni Mitchell, not Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell.
Okay. I'm trying to remember who.
So Joni Mitchell's the other musician that he has an affair with.
No, I know. Yeah, I know who Joni Mitchell is, and I know who Joan Baez is, but I'm trying to remember what the actress looked like.
She's also in Top Gun Maverick.
Well, the only one I remember from Top Gun Maverick was Jennifer Connelly. Who was the other?
She's just the girl who's in the flight in Maverick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in the crew.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
okay.
And then she looks remarkably like Joni Mitchell, so it was good casting.
Okay.
But it's like,
okay.
But anyhow, that actress is in that very terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger show.
Okay, now I gotta IMDb.
I'm curious about I want you to watch one episode and tell me if you think what your thoughts are. Not like now.
What kind of it's a is it action comedy? Action comedy is that what?
Yes, it's action comedy, but it kind of is like it. I think what I liked about it is it just reminds me of all the like action comedies Arnold Schwarzenegger was in.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of.
It just has that it's not trying to be serious, but it's very stupid. It's not even edgy. It's just it's fun.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Running Man, Edgar Wright's Running Man?
No. Wait, Edgar Wright?
Yeah, and I mean Running Man was one of those movies that I had read the Stephen King book before I saw the Schwarzenegger one, and I hated the Schwarzenegger. Now I can kind of appreciate it for being just hokey, stupid action that it was.
Yeah.
But that book was so good, and the movie, the Schwarzenegger movie, was such a huge departure.
Now,
And it took all the cool elements out of the Running Man, the story. But Edgar Wright, it looks like he's sticking to the story, and Edgar Wright's awesome director. This thing,
Yeah.
to me, it's like this, and that's. I've always said if they were going to remake one, because I'm not huge on remakes, but I kept saying if they're going to remake one, and if they do it right, it's got to be Running Man. And yeah, the trailer looks incredible.
oh man, I rewatched. We tried to watch. Man, I'm gonna blank out on this because my sister-in-law is like a big Stephen King nerd. Like she loves Stephen King stuff, right? And I like a lot of it, but I'm not like 100% sold on Stephen King. Like I love his short stories and quite a few of his books, but I'm not like I'm not a hard fan. I've read bad books by Stephen King.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah.
Anyhow, but she tries to watch like all of his stuff, and now I gotta return the dog, so I'll be right back. Now it's time for Frank's Adventures to be continued.
Our heroic adventurers fought orcs, monsters, sorcerers, necromancers. Now they find themselves in front of a mystical library. What shall they find? It's all in the roll of the dice. We've come this far. There's great power behind this door. I can feel it. We just have to get past it. This door is no match for my axe. I shall chop it down. You always want to use brute strength. Why don't you try knocking? We'll try it your way. You may enter. The library is open to all those who seek knowledge. Feel free to look through our tomes. Maybe you'll find the answers you seek. I sense great power here, and it's behind those shelves. Indeed, there are powerful items hidden behind these shelves, but you can only get there through the enchanted words. Do you have those words? I believe I do.
Tremble before the Krembo.
There is great power. Look at that glove. Must be so powerful. That is not where I sense this power. I must get closer. I found them. I found these.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
I've seen that trailer so many times. I like recite it when it
I love it. I just love his delivery on it, and the fact that he did like, okay, what was it called? You might remember the name of it. So we watched this one, and even the name of it's terrible. It's like it was about a truck.
Oh, well, Maximum Overdrive.
Yes.
Yeah.
We rewatched that, and I was like, that is like awful movie. Like the type is amazing,
horrible. And it was
type is. I'm gonna try to find the poster.
Stephen King was high on cocaine when he directed that movie. I think that's the only movie he's ever directed.
Yeah,
but yeah, he was totally high on cocaine. So it's like,
I mean, it is a movie done by somebody who was high on cocaine for sure.
Yes.
But we watched it, and I was like, it's so bad, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But I want to show just for chat, like just so people can see how like here. Let me go on here.
The best thing about that was
check this out. Look at this poster.
Yeah.
Look at that logo. I mean,
like Maximum Overdrive. It looks.
I mean, it's like. It's so bad. And
what is in the grill? Is that a person hanging out of the grill? I can't see it.
Yeah, it's like a dead person. Like
your name's covering it.
Oh, here, I'll raise it up.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're like stuck in the grill. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
But the movie's like there's like some kind of thing where electronics just start killing people.
Yeah.
And I realized from that, I hadn't seen that since I was a kid, you know?
Yeah.
And it seemed a little cooler when I was a kid.
No, I remember my dad, who's also a big Stephen King fan, when we watched that, he was saying, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, the short story is actually just called Trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the coolest thing about that movie is
And it's like that's the
Green
same
Goblin truck.
Yeah, the Green Goblin truck is really cool. But like the thing that I also dawned on me was it reminded me of that Shyamalan one where
The Happening?
Yeah, it's like the same plot.
Is it? I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Well, no, The Happening is like just like the grass starts murdering people.
Right,
Like
well,
it's like
yeah.
the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just with grass. And I don't know. I'd have to rewatch that again too. Although I don't know if I ever want to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, the only thing that I liked about that movie, and it's a very small part of the whole thing,
Yeah.
is overall it's pretty bad, but it was kind of in the trailer, but the idea of it was super creepy, that these people just decided that they're just jumping off buildings, or like that whole thing really like it was very disturbing, that people were just like kind of like offing themselves in mass numbers, just
Yeah.
like that. It's just that was pretty effective, you know.
No, I feel
yeah.
like that could have been the plot. It didn't have to be.
What? No.
It's the grass. I can't even remember. Wasn't that the twist? I'm trying to remember.
Well, it was nature.
Yeah.
It was Mother Nature taking revenge, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's weird is like I rewatched The Birds, which is a really silly premise, and that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like a really goofy premise, you know. But
And you
it's
could see
so
that
terrifying.
in full
you know?
display in like Birdemic. Have you ever seen Birdemic?
I don't think I have.
Oh, it's right up there with Troll 2 as far as one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, I love it. It's
Yeah.
called Birdemic.
Birdemic.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what's another movie I want to watch that I remember the trailer of? And I don't know if it was, I'm sure it was terrible. But this is from like the mid 90s. When I was in bands, this is a thing that, at least when you're a teenager in a band, like back in the day, we used to like do a lot of between practice, just like hanging out and watching TV and playing video games. And I remember like this one commercial coming on all the time where it was like a meme after a while with friends of mine. Because like it was a movie called Bats. And I think it was about killer bats. And it had a song on the trailer that was like, bats, 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 they're gonna get you. Bats, bats, they're gonna suck you dry. And I was like, that's the funniest theme song
Was it
I've ever
meant to
heard.
be like a horror comedy, or is it?
I never saw it. So like
Okay.
I it's just like one on that list of like I kind of need to watch Bats now to see if it's as bad as, you know, it could be or whatever. Oh, Adam's here. How's it going, Adam? He said,
Adam.
hey, Josh.
I
Hey,
saw
Scott.
that he's been hanging around lately. I don't know where he went before that, but it's cool to have him back.
Yeah, it is nice to see you back. Where have you been, Adam? Where have you been, my blue-eyed son? We were talking about the Dylan movie, so I had to do my Dylan impersonation.
Impersonation?
Impersonation.
I like impersonation.
Yeah, so I usually can't do these late night streams because you know I got a kid and wife who are sleeping, you know, usually around this time, but they are on their way back from Utah, so this is like my late night send up where I can go real late, you know.
Yeah, I usually got stuff going on the weekend. You know, I'm partying. I'm just kidding.
You're like, I got a life. It's this weird thing where I've got a life. Oh, I forgot to mention, did you notice Gary Hodges' humble brag from last stream?
I don't know. Did I?
He does this like every late night, every evening stream that I do. Like every once in a while, he'll be like, "I'm listening from the gym."
Oh yeah.
And you're like,
I did hear that.
You just have to drop that it's the gym.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry guys, I was just repping my reps, and I liked what you were saying. Anyhow, I always think
I like the fact that people are working out listening to art stuff.
No, I think it's good. And honestly, I probably mention working out more than I should because you get older and it becomes like you start realizing it's a good thing to do. But it's still a funny thing to be like, hey, yeah, just listening while doing my reps. Oh my gosh. Here's what happened on Paul Pate on a previous stream got me really good because I'm slightly autistic. I've mentioned, I think, and so I have this problem where I like being really sarcastic and stuff, but I can dish it out, but I rarely understand it when somebody's using sarcasm. So I'll be really sarcastic, and then Paul made a joke in the chats where he was like, "Yeah, I benched 420," and I'm like, okay, that's a lot to bench. I didn't even do the math in my head. That's kind of I don't even know if Arnold benches 420. I think you'll like that movie though. That TV show.
Which one?
I wonder if you'll like it. It reminds me of do you remember the movie True Lies?
Oh yeah, True Lies.
It's like that. It's like
Okay.
that kind of.
Yeah.
But just very stupid. But
I would say that's probably one of his best movies, True Lies.
It's a great
James
movie.
Cameron, so I know James Cameron's got his people that don't really like some of his stuff, but I'm a James Cameron fan, so.
I like True Lies. I like Kindergarten Cop a lot. I rewatched that and was like, the villain's really stupid.
Yeah.
And most of those movies are horrible. But there's something charming about them, Commando's great for being just terrible.
Commando, it's total 80s cheese, but I love Commando.
No, it just gives me a warm feeling in my heart.
I was simply more Commando than Rambo. Not First Blood was awesome.
Yeah,
but I just didn't get into Rambo, the sequel.
Rambo never connected to me as much as some of the others. Is that weird from that era? I think I was more connected to Arnold stuff than Stallone.
No, there was definitely Stallone stuff that I like, Stallone action that I like Lock Up, and what are some other ones? Cobra, and again, objectively not great, but I still like them.
Did you ever go for Van Damme movies?
No, I never got into Van Damme.
I never bought it. I just never bought it,
Yeah, and they weren't really. I don't know that they were all that great.
They were just kind of weird. He'd do splits. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. But yeah, I know that Van Damme got in trouble along. This is funny. This is Antelope Valley lore. So there's a Why do all my Antelope Valley stories have to make the Antelope Valley sound terrible? So the Antelope Valley, back in the day, really didn't have much of anything in it other than Lockheed and Boeing and Air Force stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And so aside from that, it was a pretty sparse town. There just wasn't a lot here. But anyhow, there's a place that's that I can't even remember the name of, but it's a strip club, but not a strip club. They wear clothes, kind of gentleman's club type thing.
Yeah.
But it was notorious around town as that's the bad neighborhood. You don't go there,
Right.
Anyhow, so it ended up in the news that Jean-Claude Van Damme had gone to this strip club in the Antelope Valley, and he got in a fist fight, and he got knocked
really
by some bikers. Yeah.
Really?
And it was this big thing in the news because it was people are Van Damme's a pussy. It's
if it was Steven Seagal, I would have believed it, but I don't know if that. I'm kind of surprised with Van Damme.
Yeah, that was funny. So anyhow,
I
that
watched
happened
this
in the
channel.
Antelope Valley.
I watched this channel called Space Ice. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's
Space Ice.
It's called Space Ice. Yeah, the guy's called Space Ice, and he basically he takes action movies and he does like this sort of voiceover narrative, almost like a standard like action, like in a world, kind of like that. But
Okay.
he's very, very, everything starts off with, oh, I forgot how he starts off the videos, but they all kind of start off the same. But
Like
he
formulaic kind of trailer type.
yeah, kind of like
overdubs?
that. But he'll break down the trailer. He edits it in a certain way, and it's totally machismo. It's like it's totally he's totally like womanizing the way he does it, but it's all tongue in cheek, But he'll take these movies and he kind of like talks about them, and he'll anything he does on Van Damme, it's just like Van Damme is the greatest ever. And anytime he does Steven Seagal, it's like Steven Seagal this is the worst movie, and he totally picks apart like any chance he has to rip on Steven Seagal. He will. And he does other movies too, like he'll do Schwarzeneggers and stuff.
Have you ever watched his like fake demos? Like,
oh yeah,
they're really funny. Like, it'll be like Seagal doing a demo, like a martial arts demonstration.
yeah. Oh, Steven Seagal, yeah, he's just like,
Yeah.
and he is just like horrible. But yeah,
Who's that guy on social media who does like the fake training videos? They're very funny. He always ends up like punching somebody in the balls.
I don't know who that is. I don't know if I've seen this.
Oh my gosh. They're so funny. You would actually like them. But anyhow, he reminds me of that. It reminds me of that where it's just like really bad self-defense advice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what is that called? Like Aikido or something?
I've heard of Aikido. I don't know if that's what it is or not, but I've heard of that.
I know it's like
it's
his version. So Van Damme apparently wasn't much of a martial artist. He was like a ballerina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
and then Seagal, I think.
Kickboxer.
Well, he might have done kickboxing, but I don't think he was like what's his name? What's the crazy guy who was in Grosse Point Blank and trained John Cusack?
Oh, I don't remember.
He's in Cusack's first movie too, in Say Anything.
Because he wanted to be a kickstart boxer and Say Anything, right?
Yeah, well, he was like John Cusack's like a legit kickboxer. Yeah.
Oh, is
sure.
he? Okay, well, yeah. So
yeah, but he was Benny the Jet. That's the guy from the 80s.
Okay.
And I think Benny the Jet is actually in some Van Damme movies, but it's like he was like the legit dude.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure if Van Damme was like all that good at I don't know. That's all just like stuff I've heard and stuff. But Seagal, like I can't remember, but I remember hearing like some martial arts experts talk about like he's actually really good at his thing.
Oh,
but
really?
he happens to be like his thing in martial arts is like I think it might be Aikido. I don't remember the term for it, but it's basically a martial art that's performative. So it's like more about balance and like striking poses. So basically they'll do like a punch and then somebody kind of pretends to be hit, and that's part of the thing. It's like a ballet thing. It's not like a real, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen any of his movies, you kind of get that. But
yeah.
the thing that's about Steven Seagal that's so hilarious that all of his movies, even his more recent ones, and he's older now.
Yeah.
All these women are totally attractive to him, and they're like half his age, and it's like, and it's just like, and it's totally every character he does is just total Mary Sue.
His running is hilarious.
Oh, and his running, yeah. The Space Ice makes fun of that all the time, or just the fact that when he fights, he's sitting down. There's a whole there. Oh, I saw this other video. I don't know if you've ever seen those guys that they're special effects artists, and then they take things and they redo them.
Yeah.
They took, what was it that they took, and they swapped. Oh, it was John Wick. They took a scene from John Wick and they digitally swapped them out with Steven Seagal, and there's this whole scene where he's just how in spoiler alert for John Wick, how they took his dog, and that was the whole motivation. Well, in this one they set it up where he's after these guys because they took his chair because he just sits, because there's actually movies with Steven Seagal where he he's just sitting down fighting, and that's probably more of that performative type thing you were talking about. But
Yeah.
this
Let me
is
look
it's
that
pretty
up.
funny. Yeah, I don't know what that. I forgot what those guys are called, but they're pretty big on YouTube. They do special effects stuff, and you know.
Yeah, let me see what it was. What was his specialty? Because it's like, oh, it's Aikido. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So Aikido is like it. I don't like, again. Anybody who does Aikido could probably kick my butt, but anybody can kick my butt. You know, like I'm not a big dude. But it's like Aikido in the martial arts, I think, is like one of the least respected as an actual fighting thing, because it's just like, I think the majority of it's very performative. It's just like you're kind of doing like play fighting, you know?
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, I'll do this move, and then you have to pretend that you're thrown off balance and you move this way. You know, like it's interesting. The guy I always feel like looks like he'd be a killer is that dude who's in those Ong Bak movies. Have you ever seen those?
No, I don't know who that is.
It's Tony Jaa.
Okay.
He does it's Thai martial arts. It's like crazy. It's like a mix of like Thai boxing and martial arts. They're brutal, but they're not 80s.
Yeah.
There's something magic about 80s.
I saw a trailer for this new movie about I think it was mixed martial arts. Somebody that was probably famous. I think it's a true story. But I'm watching this trailer, and it's like a drama, you know. For this, it's a trailer for this drama, and this guy, there's this just huge guy playing this role, and like I'd never seen him before, you know. And I'm like, who is this guy? And it's like the guy can act, and it's just like, where did this guy come from? Because he's just massive.
Yeah.
And then it comes up, it's The Rock. But, you know, they must have airbrushed or whatever they do, got rid of all his tattoos, and he had to have some prosthetics because and he had hair, but there was more to his face. They must have gave him some prosthetics so he looked more like a real guy. I could not tell, have no idea that it was The Rock. But this movie, I mean, it looked really good. It looks like if The Rock ever wins a Oscar, it could be for this movie because it looked really good.
Oh, interesting.
And it must be a true story. I'm not familiar with the actual guy, but whoever it's based on. But
dude, that sounds. I have because of 80s action movies, I do have like a soft spot for that, and just like any kind of kung fu type flick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love kung fu flicks, especially the ones that like the wireframe stuff. You know, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yeah. I remember seeing that in the theater, and my mind was blown. Like, it was an amazing movie, you know?
Yeah.
And it was stunning at the time because I hadn't really seen that wire work stuff. But the stuff that still like is like a real soft spot in my heart is like the, you know, like Legend of Drunken Master 2, like, you know, the Shaolin movies.
Yeah.
Just like the, I don't know, like I just like cheesy kung fu flicks, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of the early Jackie Chan stuff is like some of my favorites too. But it's like, but I think it might have been just like cheesy 80s action movies that got me into martial arts stuff, you know, like watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Chris Cowagua is joining us. How's it going, Chris?
Oh, hey, Chris.
Adam was saying that Van Damme was a personal favorite of his. Kickboxer and Bloodsport were his favorites.
I've never seen Blood. I heard that one was good. I mean, I've seen like Time Cop, and what was the one where he had a twin? And I don't know. I didn't get into those, but I mean,
Time Cop, that was it Double Dragon? Did they make a Double Dragon movie?
I don't think it was Double Dragon. It was some Double Impact.
Oh yeah, Double Impact. Yeah. You know, for some reason the other day I was trying to remember. Man, I have been wasting time the last like 3 days, Scott. I went down a rabbit hole the other day just looking up like ninja history. Because I was like, ninjas are so cool. And then I was like, I forget the actual history of ninjas. Like, you know?
I remember when I was growing up, I heard that there wasn't really such thing as a ninja, that it wasn't a real thing. But then...
It kind of wasn't. from what I understand. It's like,
Okay.
I mean, the samurai was for sure, but
Right.
the ninja was just kind of initially just like a hitman for the samurai.
Okay.
And quite often they weren't like, wearing black ninja costumes. They were just like a
Right.
sneaky hitman, like it's like, but I think there are actual, the problem was I didn't get too far in my search. So I'll have to look, but, samurai stuff's always interesting.
Yeah. I started watching Shogun, and then I didn't complete it. That happens a lot with me, because I just will start watching something, and then
Yeah.
like I usually watch things because if Jen wants to watch it, and then
Yeah.
and then she'll get to the point where it's like, I'm just not in the mood for that kind of show right now, so they watch something else, and then you never get back to it. So
Yeah, I tend to like, for me, it's usually like if I'm eating or something, unless it's the last few days where I've just been binging television and stuff. But generally for me, it'll be like if I'm eating, I'll like watch something real quick, and then I watch like 20 minutes of it and rarely finish. Shogun is really good though. It was really well done.
yeah, the few episodes that I saw was good.
Yeah, I was impressed. I just think it's really cool, and the costuming and like, I don't know, just everything about it. Corey said the problem with researching ninja is that they were intentionally invisible. Not a lot of records. That's true. There are no ninja. What are you talking about?
Has Corey been in the chat the whole time, or was he just?
I think Corey might be just joining us. Welcome,
Okay.
Corey.
Thank
Corey,
you.
you can hop in if you want. Proof of the hereafter brings her comfort. She seeks reassurance.
I think my battery's gonna die again. I'm hoping my other one's charged by now, but
You need like a power charger. Corey said, I just finished Shogun after reading the books. The books are great. I'm guessing that means the movie is not. I haven't read the books. I've heard the show kind of made it a little more realistic than the books, though. But I don't know. Because I guess in the books, like, a lot of it's from the viewpoint of the guy, like the white dude, And so it's like a lot in the books are kind of like this. He's calling, the culture like barbarians and stuff, like.
yeah,
Whereas in the TV show, they kind of point out he's kind of a barbarian to them, and they develop some of the female characters a little more in the movie, from what I read, but I haven't read the books, so I don't know. I finally caught up on Dune. Man, this summer's been like catching up on stuff that I should have seen. You know?
Dune was great.
Dune is really great. I'm impressed that they did it.
Yeah,
Like, that is, I mean, it's just such an undertaking to actually get it, like, even remotely close to the books. Like, there have been so many attempts,
yeah.
It's almost like if somebody finally did, what's the story about, like, Don Quixote? Like, they finally nailed Don Quixote or something. It's one of those notorious things people have tried to do a million times in film and just can't. And they pulled it off, like, really well. I really want to dislike Timothy Chalamet, though, or whatever. Yeah, I just want to not like him.
I get it, but I've just seen him in so many good things. It's just like
No, I mean, dude, like,
So
I really was like expecting to watch A Complete Unknown and just hate Hollywood, and because I'm a big Dylan nerd,
Yeah,
he's probably, in my opinion, like he'd always make my list of like top 5 just music I love, like, of all time. And like the cool thing about it is it ranges all over the place, To me, I've made the argument that I think Dylan was one of the earliest punk rockers.
yeah.
But the thing so I was expecting that movie to just suck. And then when I saw he was cast as Dylan, I was like, I'm not going to like it. Even though I'd seen Dune and he's incredible in Dune. And I think I saw that movie a long time ago, The King, where he plays like King Arthur, or not King Arthur, King Richard III. And that was like one of his first like big roles, and he's incredible in it. And so I'm expecting like I'm gonna hate this movie, and it was so good. It was just so good, and it was pretty true to everything I've read about Dylan. You know, I love that they kept him as a jerk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Did I freeze?
No, I've just.
Oh, okay.
I don't
No.
think
I
so.
just didn't know if I froze or whatever.
No, I think the first time I ever saw that Timothy Chalamet was in that Call Me by Your Name, which that movie, I know it was critically acclaimed and it was great acting and everything, but to me the whole movie was just smoking and swimming. That's all.
What is that movie?
It's just like kind of a relationship. It's like this. He's like this younger guy, and he falls in love with this other guy, and it's I don't know. It's I don't know. It's just
Smoking and swimming.
yeah, and that's kind of I can't remember if they were in like Europe or whatever or where they were, but it was just a lot of smoking and swimming. I think
Corey said, Chris said, just watch Superman and punk rock has a new meaning for me lately. Huh. I have no idea
I've
what
been
that
hearing
means.
a lot of that, the punk rock comparison with Superman. So you might, I'm kind of wondering what I didn't watch any of the content, but I've seen it come up like 2 or 3 times. So I'm I'm wondering what's the meaning behind that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious about Superman, but I'm like, I have to be in the mood to watch another superhero movie, and I'm not.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think I have to give it another watch because I'm just so attached, to the Christopher Reeve Superman that it was. I think Superman was great, the way he was portrayed, and I like the actor. And there's just a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of CGI, and not bad. I mean, it was just. I don't know if it was what I was expecting or what I wanted, but I think I might have to go into it with now that I've seen it, kind of going to it with a fresh perspective.
Yeah, I just
It definitely wasn't bad. It just I got to realize I'm never going to get the Christopher Reeve style Superman that I like. That's not going to happen.
I need to rewatch those.
I mean,
original
there's some
Christopher
corny
Reeve
parts to them, and there's some, it's kind of ridiculous that he goes and flies around the world and turns back time, and there's stuff like that. But I just still really love those movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I grew up on those movies, so like I haven't seen them in a very long time, but they just put a warm feeling in my heart because I mean, I literally had Superman PJs that like had like the little ones with like the Superman cape, and those movies like had left a big impression on me, even though I was never really like a DC kid. Like I feel like that movie had more of an impact on me than the comics because I never really read a lot of Superman comics.
Right.
I just wasn't really a DC collector, or reader. I'm trying to think of like DC comics I used to read. Really,
no, I mean
even
I collected
Batman,
both Marvel and DC. I collected, I collected John Byrne's Man of Steel. I collected. Let's see what other DC titles did I collect?
I mean, Vertigo for sure was like a huge influence on me.
I would collect stuff that it's funny because I was just when I was in that comic store, I was looking through the dollar bin, and
those are so fun to look at.
Oh, I love it!
They're so dangerous though, because like I always feel like, oh, it's just $1, and then I'll like leave a comic store having dropped like $200, and I'm like, I don't even look in my long boxes anymore. What am I doing? Yeah.
But I looked through there, and like a lot of the stuff that I had is in there. I mean, nothing I bought is worth anything. I always say that Alpha Flight was one of my favorites, and there's just there's just tons of Alpha Flight issues in the dollar bin. It's like, but
that's great if you like it, because it's.
But a lot of the
accessible.
stuff that I bought was just stuff based on like TV shows or something I like. Like most of them were Marvel, but there was one of them that was DC was V. V had DC had a V comic that I collected, but stuff like that. So I definitely collected more Marvel than DC, but I collected just about everything. A bunch of indies, you know, DC, Marvel. I wasn't
Yeah.
really, you know, wasn't really dedicated to one particular company.
Dude, so you know what's funny is you know how I got into Conan comics?
Yeah.
It might be the age difference too between you and I. But it's like when I was younger, the dollar bins were always Conan comics. Like
Were they?
they had,
Jeez.
yeah, like, so I didn't really like, because of my religious parents and stuff, I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
able to see Conan for a long time.
Oh, I got a story about that.
When all my
Yeah.
friends were seeing Conan. And so I had to see that at like a friend's house, but it's after I got interested in the comics. And I remember how I got the comics was one of those, like, they were like, you can pick 50 comics for $50 or something kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, 50 comics? And they're like, I don't know if you'll like them. And I'm like, I don't care. And then I looked through them and I was like, it's all Conan, right? And at first I was like, oh man. And then I read them and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then I remember going to a friend's house and talking about those comics and they were like, yeah, the movie's amazing. And I was like, what? And so he had it on like VHS rented and
Oh, yeah.
and I finally got to see Conan the Barbarian, and then we watched the very silly sequel. What was
Yeah.
the one with
Destroyer.
the girl? Yeah,
Oh,
what was the girl one too? That one was funny too.
Oh, Red Sonja.
Yeah, Red Sonja. But yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, my parents, they knew I wanted to watch that stuff, and they weren't. I mean, they were never really like super religious or whatever. I mean, there was a little bit of satanic panic, like it wasn't like I could listen to like rock music, but I think some of it was just self-imposed. Like if I like there are certain groups that I didn't really listen to because I thought they may be a little satanic. Like I kind of felt that about like Ozzy and Black Sabbath, but I would listen to other like rock groups and stuff. But there wasn't a whole lot of that. But they knew I wanted to watch like Tarzan and like Conan and all this stuff, and so my dad would take he'd go in and edit parts out of the movies, and I think he must have borrowed like a VCR because we had a VCR, and he must have borrowed one from a neighbor or something, and went and
he would do like a Walmart version.
Yeah, he would re-edit. Here's the thing: he didn't, and this is total being living in America. He didn't cut out any of the violence at all. All he cut out was the nudity.
No, that always mystified me because I just think it's so weird. I still think it's weird that there can be a movie that shows like a nipple and it's like rated X.
Right.
Even if it's not sexual the way they're showing it.
Yeah.
But like you can have somebody's head explode and show it on camera and it's rated PG. It's so weird. The rating system in the US are like over obsession with just like super violence is really funny to me and strange,
Yeah. But I remember, it's like because he did that with the couple movie. He did it with Conan, and he did it with like the Bo Derek Tarzan, and then, but like one of my favorite movies as a kid was like Beastmaster. I even have a little homage in Young and the Dead towards the end. I have a little homage to it, but that movie was PG and there was nudity in it. It's just like that was the 80s, I guess. That was before there was a PG-13, but.
Dude, the 80s did have quite a lot of it was like the 80s were like your average episode of Game of Thrones was like most movies. But no, it's so funny the panic that existed around that time. I was rewatching some of I can't even remember the guy. It was it wasn't Geraldo. It was like one of the main talk show guys from like the 90s.
Right.
And he had like all of the bands that were being tried like in congressional hearings on the talk show. And one of them was like Jello Biafra. And like, it's like, it was interesting because it's like just this panel full of like Karens, like that are all
Yeah.
like, just like, well, what are we gonna do about our kids? And then like the fun part about that era though is like they had so many good spokespeople for music, at the time.
Yeah.
Like if you look back at like the stuff Jello Biafra was saying in those interviews, it's just insanely thoughtful, like, and pretty clear cut stuff where it's like, hey, I don't want my kids to smoke cigarettes. Guess what? I just don't let them buy cigarettes. Like it's not. It's like they're like, it's not like we're forcing your kid to like listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I think I disappeared for a second.
Oh, I forgot my camera. Let me see if like this thing's charged.
Okay, guys, it's kind of blipping a little bit, so let me know, guys. Chris said, if you like Reeves, you'll appreciate the character of the new one. Don't let the bombastic visual distract you from a solid story.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it. Now, I definitely liked the portrayal of Superman, no doubt about it. I mean, yeah, I think he did a great job, and I think, I mean, pretty much the critics have spoken. I mean, people are really digging it, so I might have to kind of, and like I said, I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just, I guess it wasn't what I was expecting.
The one that I had the most issues with was what's his guy? The guy that they had like everybody was obsessed with and wanted like a remaster.
The
version.
Schneider.
Yeah, so Snyder's Superman was not my jam at all. Like my wife and I tried to watch it, and it was so badly cut. Like in my opinion, it's just unwatchable. Like it crossed the line of action so much I couldn't even tell what was going on.
I absolutely hated Man of Steel. I did not like it at all.
I just felt like it was like impossible to follow.
I forgot who I saw it with, but we came out of the theater and they're like, "Oh, what did you think?" I'm like, I did not like that at all. And they were like, "Really? Why?"
Yeah. I guess I'm not like a Snyder guy.
No.
But I will say, I do like that Fubar show a lot, and it's really stupid. So I'm not trying to be a snob here because that show is horrible.
No, well, here's what I'll say. I mean, I don't dislike Zack Snyder. I mean, like I liked his Watchmen.
Yeah. Watchmen! I think
Watchmen was a darker movie. I mean, but
I think he nailed Watchmen. It's funny. I have friends who were like horrified by that movie that were like Watchmen purists and stuff, and like I do not relate to them at all on that. Like I think that was such a good piece of film.
Watchmen's another one that's really like a Dune. It'd be really hard to do it exactly the way that the comic is.
I think they honored the comic really well.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so too. And no, I thought he did a really good job with the.
Now I refuse to watch the HBO thing that came after. Like I just out of spite for the industry.
Oh, really? I heard that it was really, really good.
Did you watch it though?
I watched. Yeah, I watched a few. I got to rewatch it because my brother was telling me it was really good, and at the time I didn't have HBO, but now I do.
Oh, okay.
So I watched a few with him, but then I didn't have any way to watch the rest of them. But I have HBO now, and also there's an animated version of Watchmen.
Yeah,
it's pretty much exactly like the book.
Okay.
And it's really good too. I've watched the first part, and I think the second part's out now. So, but no, that Watchmen series it's supposed to be really, really good, and the episodes that I saw were really good.
I just can't. I
I mean, I see what you're saying about like the comics that they put it back out because they put some new comics out, but I don't know. I mean, I think.
Well, again, like it might be awesome. So, like I've made dumb decisions before about there's like things that are even the A Complete Unknown. I'm like a huge Dylan fan. I should have been like front row going to see that when it came out. It took me a while to come around and just kind of accept that it's actually a pretty amazing movie.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Chris said it's surprisingly good. Okay. Well,
What's that? The Watchmen or what?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he was saying The Watchmen. He said it went in weird directions, but it was really good. So
Yeah, I mean, most people that I heard and what I did see was really good. Um, and it's
did you
definitely,
guys ever watch Erie, Indiana back in the day?
I kind of remember the show, but I didn't really watch it. I mean, I may have seen a couple episodes or something.
That was a weird movie. There were like two shows from that era, like that I vaguely remember that I wouldn't mind watching again. Another one that I liked a lot was Pete and Pete. Did you ever see Pete and Pete?
No.
Oh.
I think, are these more like kind of kid shows?
Yeah, it might be like that slight
I
generational difference.
think it's an age thing. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of there with I've talked to other people about Power Rangers. I'm kind of there with that because when Power Rangers were like crazy popular,
Right.
it was like when I was in high school. Was like early high
Right.
school was when
Right.
everybody started getting obsessed with the Power Rangers. So I was kind of aged out of it. Like it was kind of funny to watch, but I never was like young enough to get like
Right.
crazy into it. So then like friends who were like really into the Power Rangers, usually like anybody who's like 2 years younger than me, it's about 2 years younger where it hit that sweet spot, where there's nostalgia with it. I feel like it's kind of the same with Pokemon too. Like Pokemon became like this big thing, like just at the time that I was like a little bit out of the loop on that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
for
probably
me,
kind of a similar thing, yeah.
Power Rangers and also even Voltron. When I
Yeah,
first saw those, I didn't like it because I didn't really understand that it was a genre. Like
yeah,
Super Sentai was a genre. Because
yeah,
I grew up watching, Battle of the Planets or, Gatchaman.
yeah,
And when I first saw Voltron, I'm like, this is a total ripoff of Battle of the Planets. What? And I just didn't realize that, no, it's just like there's Superman and there's Shazam in
yeah,
superhero comics.
yeah.
But
You didn't
so
realize
I
it's
didn't.
pretty much like the capes and tights of
Right,
Japan at the
yeah.
time.
So I didn't really understand, but that was more on me. But I did like the fact that the thing I did like about Voltron is that they kind of combined where they did. I don't think they really did that in Battle of the Planets.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, like Voltron was a huge deal, like for me, because that might have been
Mm.
my like
Yeah.
first real exposure to that. Speaking of like parents, like censoring videos and stuff. Did I tell you about like when I was like 14, a friend of mine had dubbed me a copy of Akira, like it was a pen pal of mine.
I may have heard you say this story, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
So they send me this copy of Akira, and at the time, like Akira is not even something you can get at like a
Right.
Blockbuster or something, like, um, and so I get a hold of Akira, and then I see it, and my mind is blown. So I have two of my friends over, and I'm like, we got to watch Akira, right? And so I go to watch Akira, and then my dad walks out like right at the scene where they're like mowing down like a dog. And like it's just all these people getting shot. It's like that scene, like the big shooting
Yeah.
scene. And my dad just basically makes me tape over it.
Tape over. Oh,
I had to
man.
record over it. I was like, like it was like years till I got to see Akira again. Although I will say that first version of Akira was really strange because they had it was like the first dub version. And so the first dubbed version of Akira, like the ending doesn't make a lot of sense because they kind of just didn't get the translation right.
Right.
And so the ending's just like complete absurd, like nonsense. And the ending's already kind of surreal enough. But it didn't translate well. So when I saw it later and saw the actual translation of it and saw like the subtitled version, I was like, oh, the ending actually makes sense. Like, I mean, it's weird, but it has a logic to it, know. Whereas like the ending in the original, man, that was a tough one.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch Akira. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, I absolutely love. I mean, that movie is just beautiful. I haven't seen
Oh,
it
yeah.
in years though. Yeah, it is funny how like there's there's things that you'll kind of get like super into and are incredible, but it's like you kind of forget to like rewatch the really good stuff.
Yeah. Did they ever try to do a live action version of Akira?
I heard that they were originally going to do it. I saw some like production shots of like the car, but I feel like that happens every like 5 years where they'll show the vehicle, like, and you'll be like, yeah, and then it's like never comes to fruition.
That's like I keep hearing that about. I was hearing that about like Running Man, and it finally happened. It was happening, and then same thing with Last Starfighter. It's like, oh, they're gonna redo Last Starfighter.
Okay, they have to, because you got to test that. Last Starfighter is the one where the kid goes to the arcade, right?
Well, he didn't really go to an arcade. They had an arcade machine in his trailer park.
Yeah, and then he like becomes like a pro at it,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like he gets recruited to be the Last Starfighter because it was really like, yeah, that is a great movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be really good to redo.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
one of the reasons for that, and whether they do a good job is probably, who knows. But it was like if not one of the first computer animated special effects, and so the ships, they just weren't. It's hard not to be taken out of the movie when you see those. I mean, I'm not a huge like special edition type advocate. But that's one where I think they may have done it on YouTube or something. Yeah, that's one where I'd actually kind of like to see that, because it does kind of take you out of the movie because the ships just look so rudimentary. Like there's no texture to them or anything. But other than that, man, that movie's fantastic. I love that movie.
I mean, it's just such a fun plot, too.
Oh,
and I feel like as a kid, too, that was a fun movie because, like, who didn't want to go to an arcade and then get recruited to be a starfighter, it is interesting, like, thinking about those impossible to do movies, though. Like, Akira would be up there. That's why I think Dune is so impressive, because Akira is one of those golden goose kind of movies that, like, everybody's tried to make and nobody's gotten through production on.
Right.
I feel like Dune is one where people have made it and just bombed, and then people have tried to make it for years, and they finally made one that's like legible and follows the storyline, you know. And actually, it's a big undertaking because that is a weird book. Like, it's a good book, but it's like that is a complicated book. That's a lot to cover.
Yeah. And I've heard somebody said they were making a third one, but I'm guessing it's got to be one of the other books because they completed that story from Dune.
I think it's going to be Children of Dune. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they already kind of started hinting at it with some things that are not in the first Dune.
Because they said Dune 3, but that wouldn't be Dune 3 because it's not. Does Children of Dune? Oh, I guess it does take after, but years. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever read
because they kind of hinted it's. The thing about Dune is, I will say this as the books, there's some interesting ideas later on, and maybe like Dune heads will attack me and kill me for saying this, but the books get less good as they go. Like
that's typically the way things go.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Ender's Game, like where, which by the way, I never saw the. Man, I'm out of touch. I never saw Ender's Game.
No, I saw the movie and I wasn't really super impressed with it, but I knew it was like a big, giant, it was a huge like sci-fi novel.
Yeah,
so
it's a great book. But the book is like one of those books where you read it and it's like incredible for like it, and it's mind blowing. Like some of the concepts in it and stuff, and like the writing just sucks you in. It's like so engrossing, and then the last chapter just is like a crash landing. Like it just sucks. Like, so it's one of those ones where it's told like it reminds me of the ending of Harry Potter. Where Harry Potter has a really good resolution, like the whole series. Mm-hmm. And then there's like 10 years later and you're like, wait, what? Like I always hate that. In books that are paced where it's like day by day by day, like very slow pacing, and then out of nowhere the last chapter's like, and here's what happens every 10 years for the next 100 years in a chapter. And you're like, wait, I was literally following like one paragraph was like an hour of a day, and now you're like flash forwarding. Like I don't like that. Sometimes it works. Like I think Andor did that well, where Andor started being very slow. It was about specific events, right?
Yeah.
But it was like slow, so you're following them as they happen. But then the second season goes to like a year, instead of like sections. It's like this is a whole year, a big event, and then a year later, a big event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they pulled that off in Andor. But I think it's hard to pull off. Like, I don't know. That's what bugged me about the later Dune stuff. It feels very condensed. Like he was like, okay, and then this happens, and then this happens, and it's like, okay, after a while, yeah. Well, you guys have finished another rough. That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That is excellent. Thank you, Scott, for kind of keeping me company, my dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris was saying it'll be about Dune Messiah. Yeah, it's probably going to be Dune Messiah, and then they might sneak in stuff from Children of Dune, But, yeah, that's all. Dune Messiah is even kind of weird. It gets very weird and kind of meta, But it's great. It's a great series. They did such a good job with it. There's one thing that kind of pulled me out of it, though. What's his name? Oh my gosh, he kept it in the only place he could. He kept the watch up his, what's his name? Christopher Walken.
Yeah, Christopher Walken. Yeah.
Yeah, Walken's the only thing that kind of pulled me out of it,
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah.
And I don't think he did a bad job at it.
It's just when you see Walken, it's like, oh, it's Walken. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean,
well, and he usually you don't see Christopher Walken playing like a wide variety of characters, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walken's like he's like that specific. Is that called a character actor? Like somebody who just plays one character?
No, a character actor typically plays many different kinds of characters.
Okay, so then he's not a character actor.
Well, that's kind of. I don't know what you would call somebody like Walken. I mean, he's definitely been the lead in a number of movies, but
no, he
plays
can be the
characters,
lead,
but he plays a specific kind of. I mean,
that's what I mean. He's like a Goldblum type. Like Jeff Goldblum is gonna be Jeff Goldblum in anything you put him in, and the reason you put him in there is because you want Jeff Goldblum, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's not like like Harrison Ford is like a guy who, even better. I was going to use Harrison Ford as an example. Better one. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
He's a character actor.
That's a guy you can put in any film and within 5 minutes forget who he is. Because he's so good at like changing characters. Or actually Timothy, Timothy Chalamet?
Chalamet, but he's more of a leading man. But
what I'm saying is like he's still in like a complete unknown is a completely different character than he is in Dune, with like different mannerisms, and within 5 minutes you feel like, oh, this is actually Bob Dylan,
Right. There's
some actors that can kind of like chameleon into other characters, and then there's some that are just a type actor, I guess would be the thing, right?
Right. Because you could be like a Denzel where you can play Malcolm X, but you're still leading
still
man.
Denzel.
You're still So I mean, there's crossover. I mean, there's some people that don't really fit either kind of mold, but
like Arnold is an actor who's always going to be Arnold,
right? Right. Yeah.
He's played different characters, but he's going to be Arnold,
Yeah.
Or Cary Grant back in the day was always kind of Cary Grant, right? But anyhow. I don't know. Oh, so that's why Walken kind of pulled me out of it. Was like, Gary Oldman's a good example. Gary Oldman just kind of morphs. Those amorphous actors are always really interesting. But anyhow, that's cool. I'm gonna go grab my printout and maybe a glass of water.
Are you still streaming?
I am.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I just finished the corner. Now I'm actually down to the actual illustration. So what time is it? Let's see.
We're at like 12:43. So
yeah, I could probably hang out for another hour or so, or however. I mean, if you're not gonna, depending on how long you go, but
yeah, I will. I think so I'm just gonna grab some water and then I'm gonna start the next rough.
cool.
Yeah.
Assuming I can continue charging my batteries while they go dead.
That's true.
All right, I'll switch over so I don't waste this battery while.
Oh, do you want me to put on a trailer?
Yeah, put on a trailer.
Okay, let's do that. That way you can get some water too. Let's do one of Luhan's. These are so fun. I don't think I've done Wordzoid in a long time. Here,
Well, Peter, since I'm such a big music fan, I'm gonna have to go with Karen Carpenter. Oh, Stu, I'm sorry. That's the incorrect answer. Trish, what you got for us?
I'm gonna go with Kim Gordon.
All right, let's check that answer. Kim Gordon. Do we have a Kim Gordon? Yes, and that means you're our new Wordzoid champion, Trish. Dale, tell Trish what she's won. Trish, you've won a copy of 2 stories, a memoir of faith and mental illness. Handwritten, hand-drawn, and handed to you by artist and writer Joshua Kemble. But wait, that's not all. You've also won a copy of Jacob's Apartment, the story of a doomed romance. What happens when you take Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and put it in a blender with Ghost World? You get Jacob's Apartment, written and illustrated by Joshua Kemble. Trish, thank you for playing Wordzoid.
All right, great job, Trish.
I was told I was gonna get a lifetime supply of paper towels.
I absolutely love that one. How's it going, chat? So I'm gonna start the next rough. I'm gonna try to do one more rough, and we'll see how that is. Chris, I'll read that comment when Scott's back. Yeah, that was cool that he finished Young and the Dead, though. It's I feel like that puts you in a big club when you finish. I don't know, it's the finishers club. Which I think is a unique thing to kind of do. Okay, so in this case Adam said things are going well. He's working on a video game song. Nice. What do you use for video game songs? Is there a specific program you like that kind of makes like 8-bitties? Okay. Now we're going to work on rough for page 156. I'm slamming through these roughs, you guys. Did I upload the... I do have to upload these for my publisher too, so. Okay, cool. I did. That's good. So there's like 2 things I do when I finish a rough. Like one, I'll print them out so that I have this my Bible, right? And then the other is sending the roughs to the client. Have you watched The Burbs at all recently?
Not recently, no. I haven't seen that since maybe shortly after it came out.
Okay, that one is definitely worth rewatching.
Yeah, I think I need
good.
to. Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I watched it like last year, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, like it's like the best movie."
So I was kind of like, oh man, I don't know how close I can get this type and everything if it's going to be perfect. And then I went and pulled my Art Adams cover off the wall here, and I don't know if you can see, but it's not perfect either. Yeah. Like even that, like especially like with the little type, you can see it's totally handwritten. But yeah, I think that's part of the charm. So I think I was worrying over nothing because it doesn't have to be, like.
Is that an original?
Hell no. Man, I wish.
You're like, who am I, Corey Kerr?
Yeah, I wish. Yeah. but yeah, so that's cool. So I don't have to really be too pricked. I mean, I think I'm gonna get it close enough that.
No, and whatever you do, you're not printing at that scale. So
Right,
you know,
right. Well, and
like,
this is when I print this, I'm not gonna do the hand. I'll typeset this.
yeah,
Yeah. So
you might want to see how it looks though, hand done.
no, I know. I mean, I get it, but I still probably would typeset it.
Oh, Adam wants a recap on what you're working on.
Oh, okay. So this is the new comic that I'm starting, and right now what I'm doing is I'm doing this. Josh gave me Josh, my girlfriend for my birthday commissioned Josh to do a variant cover of Young and the Dead, and so I've got hanging up on my wall, and I need something to kind of offset to put by it. And I also want something that's kind of inspiring for me to work on this comic. So I designed this cover for my new comic. It's called Hip Optimus Rhyme, and it's basically giant mechs versus kaiju, but it's got a hip hop theme to it. So that's basically what I'm doing. So I'm penciling. I did the whole thing digitally. Like if you watch the beginning of the last stream Josh did, I showed off the digital work that I did, and I blew it up. I projected it on this, if you look here, I'm working on a light box. That's the printout, which I had to kind of crop because it's so big. But now I'm penciling it so I can take this. We got an art retreat coming up in another couple of weeks, and I'm gonna bring this with me, and I'm gonna ink it there. So I just want to get it all prepped for that. So that's what I did. And I finished this guy here, this corner box, and that's a lot of people to look at. I think when I get around to inking this guy, I think I'll probably have to use micron because I don't know if I want to try a brush with that. It's so small, so much detail.
Yeah.
But now I can. This should not be as difficult. It's a little bigger. There's so many little details.
Hey Scott, you're starting to sound underwater again. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay. It seems like it just freaks out every once in a while.
Every once in a while, it's like a flash to Scott. You're like drinking a glass of water. I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Oh man. Well, I am. Yeah. So anyhow, I was surprised I liked Fubar so much. It's very stupid, but it's like it reminds me of very stupid early. It's not like Terminator 2 or Conan type Arnold stuff.
Right.
You know, it's more like Kindergarten Cop. You know,
right.
that kind of like Arnold stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's fun. Twins kind of has that kind of humor.
Yeah.
I can't believe he was. I have Arnold Schwarzenegger's signature on my.
Oh, do you?
My college degree.
On your college degree? Oh yeah, because he was the governor.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Huh,
so that was kind of weird to graduate, like my undergrad, not my graduate, but
right.
That's funny. It's too bad it's not a real signature.
So it's not. I was going to say, do they actually really sign those, or is these printed? It's got it.
Well, I'm guessing they just print them because,
okay.
I mean, like, how many college graduates are there in California? Like, that would be insane.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, geez.
I think Chris has. Chris, do you have Arnold's too, or were you and my? Because I know you and my were like a semester difference, but I think you guys had Arnold too. Arnold. There's a lot of like fun shout outs too. Like there's helicopter scenes where he constantly goes, "Look at the choppa."
Oh yeah.
Like, there's a lot of like subtle like Arnold references in there. Even some like Mr. Freeze call outs.
Oh, really?
It's so stupid. It's not even well acted. It's a bad show, but I love it.
Okay, I was gonna IMDb the the girl. Let's see if I remember who she was. If it's somebody I know. She's probably like a newer actress that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah, I think she is
let's
like
see.
a newer actress.
Let's see.
Oh, Chris said, yeah, I got one too. Yeah. Chris, you like it too? Because he said it knows what it is. It's entertaining. It is entertaining. Nice.
Monica Barbaro?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I've seen her in.
So she was in Complete Unknown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I've seen that.
Yeah. She's the second love interest, not the lady he moves in with, but the one he plays the folk festival with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sophie is supposed to be saying she needs. What does she need? Oh, yes, I was supposed to read this comment about Young and the Dead, and Chris just reminded me. He said, Adam said he posted video game soundtracks and ended up getting hired to do somebody's video game soundtrack as a response. That's cool. Where was it though? Chris said a really nice thing about Young and the Dead.
I missed that.
And then I told him I would read it, and then I forgot. Oh yeah, he said, by the way, great job on Young and Dead. Finally was able to really dig in and enjoy the whole story.
Awesome, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim gave me a glowing review, so that was really nice of him. So it's I'm happy with the feedback. Seems like people are liking it.
What was that glass from like the 40s where they would use like actual uranium or something in the glass? It was like green.
The drinking glasses you're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was from the 40s. I mean, they had them in the 80s. Those Star Wars glasses that Burger King had some kind of a toxic,
No. It's like an antique glass. It looks green. And then it like actually like it has radiation.
Okay. That I don't know. I know like the Star Wars, the Burger King, and the Looney Tunes glasses and stuff. I think they have like lead in them.
Okay, this one. Let me look it up. Antique glass radiation. Oh, it's called uranium glass.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
So, like, in the Victorian era, and then I think all the way up into the 50s or something, it's like uranium. They just found that if they infused glass with like mild amounts of uranium, it made them this pretty shade of green, and then that shade of green would like glow.
And then the people start glowing.
So anyhow, antique stores will still sell it, but it's like illegal to make now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but there's people who still collect like uranium glass. So was it that kind of review? Because you said glowing review.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's funny. I guess if you get your uranium glass and you fill it with like absinthe or something, some green.
Can you imagine like back in the Victorian era, they're drinking Coca-Cola in uranium glass? What a trip that would be. You guys, anybody who feels like the world is going to hell, right? Just realize there was a point in time where you could buy like silverware and glass, like silverware that would give you lead poisoning because it was made out of lead, and be drinking your beverages out of uranium glass. That's crazy.
Would they have known that wasn't a good thing, or that's the question? Do it anyway just because it's going to make it look cool.
Let me see the time frame on it. Now, see, I need to be working on my rough, but this is why I keep getting dragged into...
That's not that important.
Well, now I'm curious, though. Uranium glass. This is so crazy. Uranium glass is glass that has uranium, usually oxide ternite form, added to the glass before melting for coloration. Wow, this is crazy. The proportion usually varies from trace levels of about like 2%, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it said some 20th, this is the crazy part, some 20th century pieces were made with up to 25% uranium.
Oh, Jesus.
Here's what they
If
look
I
like.
ever need to build a time machine now, I know
This is
what
a
the power of it
photograph of uranium glass under ultraviolet light. Look at this. Isn't that crazy?
What is that? That's not real.
No, it is. That's uranium glassware under ultraviolet light.
Oh, but yeah, okay, yeah, I see now. But that's the okay. It looked like you were showing like a glass on its side, but there were like weird things in it. But now I see what you're showing.
Okay, so this makes more sense because it says uranium glass was exploding in popularity for tableware and household items.
Exploding.
Until the Cold War. During the Cold War, about starting, wonder why in the 1940s uranium glass just stopped being popular or available. It's now considered to be antiques and retro era collectibles. There's been a minor revival in art glassware.
Does that mean that seems to mean that they're making it again?
That's so crazy. Ancient uses. So it dates back, uranium glass dates back to 79 AD.
Jeez.
But then it got really popular in 1789. So originally it was kind of accidental. They didn't know what uranium was. They just.
Right.
But then in 1789, this guy discovers uranium and starts using it to color glass. And by the 1840s, a bunch of Europeans started. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Yeah. So anyhow. Yeah, uranium glass. Anyhow, antiques people are like obsessed with it. But apparently it can give you like mild amounts of radiation having uranium in your glass.
Apparently.
So anyhow, I feel like, I don't know. Like sometimes we use dyes that are kind of weird in our food and stuff, but I feel like it's a far stretch from mixing uranium in your glass.
I'll use that because, like, I drink this concoction I have here. It's like this acai berry, it's like some kind of energy powder that you put in, and it's got some kind of sweetener in it that they say if you drink too much of it. But I read that the amount you have to drink is just like so much. But I mean, I do drink a lot of it, but it's like nowhere near like what almost any human could consume.
Yeah.
But Jen's always like, you got to stop drinking that stuff. But now just say, well, at least I'm not drinking out of uranium glasses.
It's just fun. Like, to me, it's funny that was a thing. I can't remember where I first heard about it, but it was like one of those, like Antiques Roadshow kind of things,
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, this is very valuable. It's uranium glass. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, and then like... they had to handle it with gloves because they were like, I mean, it's a really collectible, but it can give you radiation poisoning. I'm like, oh my gosh. Strange world. Did you see the trailer for the Toxic Avenger?
Oh no, I heard about it. I don't even think I've seen the original Toxic Avenger.
I mean, it looks really stupid, but it looks kind of amazing.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be, but yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. It's like
maybe
Trauma
I did.
films.
Maybe I did. Did I see the trailer? I don't know.
It's got Peter Dinklage in it.
That's right. I
think he's playing the
Adventure.
Yeah.
I think I did.
And Elijah Wood looks like he's playing like a weird mad scientist.
Okay.
Which I'm kind of stoked about because I haven't seen Elijah Wood in like anything in a while.
It's funny that Peter Dinklage, because usually he plays more like serious roles.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than he'll do comedy like in Elf or something like that. But
maybe he's a fan.
Maybe
because like there is a whole culture of people who like love B-movie properties and stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't seen like The Station Agent. I heard that that's an excellent movie, and I haven't seen it yet. That was like his first kind of big breakout role.
Oh, never saw it. Adam said he had those Star Wars glasses.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. No, my
Oh, Chris said he saw some today at an antique store. Uranium glass. He said it glows under a black light, low level radiation.
well, I mean, a lot of things will glow under black light that aren't radioactive.
Yeah.
Like quinine will glow under black light.
Yeah.
Tonic water or whatever, you know.
Yeah, this is just uranium. A theme song for a gaming channel. That sounds cool. I think that's funny that I was on a tangent about uranium glass, and meanwhile, now what would be hilarious is if we pan to Chris and he's typing on his keyboard and it's like glowing green. His fingers are like ET fingers, like they're glowing. Do you feel like ET's fingers are kind of creepy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ET's kind of a creepy looking dude.
I mean, originally it was supposed to be a horror movie, I think.
He terrifies me a little bit.
But I think somewhere, I think Spielberg was like, I think there was a point before he did War of the Worlds that he just did not want to portray aliens as bad. I heard that somewhere.
That kind of would make sense.
Yeah.
I forget, he did was it him who did a bet or something that like about Close Encounters, the Third Kind or something?
I don't know.
I know like him and Lucas had a bet for like points on a movie or something.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. That it was going to outgross another one or something like that. I think I heard something about that, but I don't remember which movie it was. When did Close Encounters come out? What was Lucas working on? Was he working on Star Wars at the time? I'm trying to remember.
It might have been Star Wars. Maybe he got points for Star Wars or something. Close Encounters, 1977.
Yeah, well, same year. Yeah. So yeah, that must have been it. Was something with Star Wars. I think I heard it where Spielberg said that Star Wars was gonna gross more than Close Encounters, and I don't think Lucas was confident enough to take the bet or something like that. I vaguely remember that.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, Lucas was telling Spielberg that Close Encounters would be more successful than
Star Wars.
Star Wars. And they basically said whoever wins the bet will get 2.5% of the film profits. And of course, Spielberg won that bet.
Yeah.
And I think it looks like 20 years ago that netted him $40 million.
Well, he needs the money.
Yeah. Poor Spielberg. You guys, there's Spielbergs out there who need your money.
Did you see the Spielberg? Well, it wasn't really.
Oh, the biopic thing?
Yeah, was it Fetter? What was it? What was the name of the?
I didn't see it, but it's like a biography. Wasn't it made by Spielberg too?
It was made by Spielberg. It's semi-autobiographical however you pronounce that. Yeah. But it's not like he's not supposed to be Steven Spielberg, but it's basically Steven Spielberg. It's basically his story, but with a different kind of fictional family. It was really good, yeah.
Interesting. Is it like just about a kid like dreaming of filmmaking?
Yeah, and growing up, it's really good, yeah. And especially because there's like, so for a while I was working at a software company doing, graphic design and all that kind of stuff. And the owners of that company bought Spielberg's childhood home. That was their house. They were living in it out in Scottsdale.
Oh, I didn't know Spielberg was in Arizona.
Oh yeah, he grew up in Arizona. Yeah. All right, hold on. My battery's gonna die. Let me switch over. See if I can find another one.
Battery Death would be a good name for a metal band.
Assault and Battery Death.
Assault and Battery Death. That actually was a threadless shirt back in the day, where it had a salt shaker next
And
to a battery.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That was a pretty classic one. I gotta say, your mystery machine there looks like it's
Like it's gonna fall off.
No, it looks like it might have some uranium in it.
Yeah, it's pretty bright. I wish there's a couple there's a couple of those cars that they don't make that I wish they did. But like I said, I've got that the Batmobile that isn't Playmobil, but it's the same scale.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for a Blade Runner spinner, but I couldn't find one that's that scale.
That would be cool.
But there's they make there's a couple other ones, because I don't know if they stopped making them because they haven't put out any of the movie ones in a while. There's a Magnum PI Ferrari that I probably should get, even though I never really watched Magnum PI.
If you hadn't watched Magnum PI, that should be the first thing you watch this weekend.
I keep saying I gotta watch it just so I can validate buying that toy and putting it on my shelf. But
man, that might be a generational thing too. But it's like, man, when I was a kid, that was the coolest. That was like my favorite show to watch.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where, for whatever reason, I never was exposed to it.
No, I get it. Yeah.
But I'm sure I'd probably dig it.
It's my wife. Like, it's funny. My wife didn't grow up watching it, and then when Ben was a kid, when he was first born, you know that era where like your kid doesn't sleep through the night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so we'd do shifts, like if I had to work in the morning, then like she'd do a late night. If she had to work in the morning, I'd do a late night. And since I was freelance, I mainly was like late nights.
Yeah.
And so I just watched every episode of Magnum PI while he was on my lap. And then my wife, obviously, like, because you don't sleep a lot during that time, every once in a while she'd come out and watch an episode with me, and she'd be like, "This is the best show ever." And I'm like, "You never saw Magnum PI?" Yeah. And that, like, she's so into Magnum PI. She did, she dressed as Magnum PI for Halloween once and did like the mustache and everything. She looked like Tom Selleck. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But they do have like a regular like VW Bug that I might get and put some stickers on it, make it look like Herbie. I'm trying to think of other movie cars.
That's a movie I haven't watched in years, man. Herbie the Love Bug, those movies.
Yeah,
I remember. I used to watch those all the time.
Yeah, me too. I would watch that. It'd be on Disney Channel and watch that thing. I think we probably had it on video cassette.
Yeah, and I know it was like replayed on like Wonderful World of Disney all the time. They played that in like the Flubber one.
Yeah. Absent-Minded Professor.
Absent-Minded Professor, yeah.
But I'm trying to think of other movie cars, or TV cars.
Well, I mean, there's Knight Rider, Kit, but I don't know.
I have Knight Rider.
You do have Kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, here's Knight Rider.
Yeah. What did they drive in Simon and Simon?
I don't remember. I mean, there's Starsky and Hutch. I think that was a Gran Torino.
Yeah.
I don't know cars very well. How does this? It's supposed to talk, but I forgot how to make it talk.
I mean, I'd say the Duke boys, but that might be problematic.
Yeah. That's probably the most famous one that they don't make.
Yeah.
There's a company called Ramen Toys that made one for like action figure size.
Yeah.
And then they just made the sticker separately.
Yeah.
So if you want to put on the Confederate flag, you can, or there is some other option, which I thought was a pretty good kind of middle ground, which, most people are going to, whether you believe in, obviously, you support that or not, you still kind of want it to be authentic, I guess. So,
Yeah, I feel like that's the. I'm not a big proponent of that flag, but that's one of the
Right.
only arguments I can be like, well, I can kind of understand,
Yeah.
like, because that was pretty cool when you were a kid, you know.
Right.
Let's see here. Hmm. Okay.
What I should have printed out another like copy of this that I could like reference because sometimes it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Do you find that when you're light boxing?
I have like an old light box that Mai picked up years ago when we lived in Portland, right?
Uh-huh.
She worked for this company called Astro Tool,
Uh-huh.
which is the most like Jetsons sounding company in the world. But they actually would make like components for like aerospace. So
Okay.
it was like, but it was like weird parts, like the parts that you wouldn't see at like a Lockheed or whatever. It'd be like a specific kind of screw, or like you know what I mean, just like
Yeah.
little components. But anyhow, like all of their tools used to be designed by hand, and so they were upgrading to have everything digital.
Mm-hmm.
And so they gave me like a big old light box, and that hasn't gone out yet, which is pretty cool. And then because they were getting rid of it, and then we also got a flat file from them, which was really cool because she's at work one day and they're like, "Do you want a flat file and a light box?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"I know somebody who does."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my light table, my uncle built for me. It's really cool. But I don't use it that often because it's just, I mean,
No, I mean
that
I'd be in
space
a
is,
similar boat if I had to traditionally ink right now, I probably
yeah.
wouldn't do it on my art table because my art table is piled. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
buried right now. I have to like prep it, to get in that space.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Like I love light tables, man. My first illustration job had it old school. I think they pretty much got rid of that after. Um, I might have been the last generation to like start an art job where you had like light tables.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty sweet. And then it's kind of the same thing. I got a flat file. This is way back when I was um, when I was on the side. I was doing construction for my brother-in-law, just because I hadn't really got my foot established to work full time as an artist yet. Um, and so we went in there, and this place had these old flat files. I'm like, oh man, I totally in there. You're just gonna get rid of it, and I'm like, I got to find a way to get this back to my house.
The one thing I regret, I remember when Chris will probably remember this, but like when I was in art school at Cal State Long Beach, the school let us know that Disney had done a bunch of layoffs at the time of like animators.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did a big upgrade when they rehired. And because of that, they basically just put like Disney animation tables.
Yeah, I've heard these stories before. Yeah.
Outside, like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And at the time I wasn't driving, so I didn't, but I did have a couple classmates who got like an actual like animation
cool.
desk with like the rotator and everything.
Yeah. I've
And
heard
it's
those
like,
stories before. Yeah.
yeah. Adam said he has one of those huge metal drafting tables with lights. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Chris said he has 7 fingers. That's because of the antique shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Like watch when Toxic Avenger comes out, it's Chris.
The good thing about this one is that you can adjust the amount of light too. Sometimes that helps if it's like if you need to tone it down a little bit or pump it up. The fact that they can make these things so thin, nowadays, it's just like, before you had to just have this massive massive table,
Yeah, no, I have like one of the old school big ones,
Yeah.
but I should probably upgrade. But I do worry that the light may not be as strong.
Well, they seem to work pretty well. I like this thing. It was only like $20.
Yeah, they're so affordable now. You can get like really big ones too for cheap.
I bought this because it's just under 11 by 17.
Yeah,
and usually there's a border around your comic book page, so usually it fits. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
And if you ever need, you can do what I'm doing now, where you just kind of move where you need it to be.
Mine's about it's like 13 by 19, a little bit wider than that.
Yeah.
So, but it's like a big old, box. And it's probably going to die, Okay, let's see here. Why is this? Chris said he made some, found a long LED bulb, and used plexiglass. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, mine is pretty much that. It's just like a metal box with like a clamp that goes over like the shaded plexi, the tinted white plexi. And then it just has like a light bar, but it's like an old school light. Yeah, I kind of wonder about like drawing lights too, because my drafting light is an old school clear white drafting light that has like the halogen, but like the true color halogen lights.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if if those go out, like, do they even sell those anymore?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they haven't gone out in years, so I've never had to replace them.
Yeah.
But I got it at a drafting supply shop in Portland before they closed up. Because the one I had before that was my dad's, and that died when we moved. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was halogen lights are even legal. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah. You just have to replace them with vintage uranium bulbs. See, that could be fun in the Victorian jet ski story, where all of the products people use,
Yeah. Is it going to be called Victorian Vice, or what's it going to? Is that?
I don't know what it's going to be called, but Victorian Vice would be pretty good.
Yeah.
That might impinge too much on copyright, though. I don't know.
How could it? Vice is an actual thing.
Well, it's also like totally a parody.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a Hamster Vice comic book when I was growing up, so I think you're okay.
Yeah, that's true. I guess Victorian Vice would be good because people would want to see it because it would sound like almost like a sedacious Victorian, where it's about people pursuing their vices, and then they watch it and they realize it's Miami Vice in Victorian England.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam says he has some Hamster Vice comics. What was Hamster Vice? It was literally hamsters doing Miami Vice?
It was, it was right around the time where there were a billion Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle knockoffs. Hamster Vice was one of them. And it wasn't, it was a little different because it was like Hamster Vice. But then there were some that were just straight up, adolescent gerbil something, whatever.
Yeah.
I used to. That's another thing I would buy. I've got tons of those things. The Ninja Turtle knockoffs. I've got so many of those things.
Dude, those movies were great.
Which one? The Ninja Turtle movies?
Yeah, first ones.
Oh, really? Yeah, I never really dug those.
Well, I saw them when I was a kid.
Yeah, I guess that's probably an age thing. I appreciate that it was Jim Henson doing the effects and stuff, but I like the last one that I saw, the animated one. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the recent ones, and that is one of those ones I will not pretend to have read the Ninja Turtles comics because I didn't when I was a kid.
I read some of them. it was one of those things where
your friend sold one of them to get gold key.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was partially how he was able to buy gold key, is that he traded the trademark for a Ninja Turtles #1.
Hey, is there a thing you used to own as a kid that if you hadn't thrown it away, you'd be like rich as hell today? Any of those like weird gems?
I don't think rich as hell. I mean, I had a ton of Star Wars stuff, but I mean, you could still buy that stuff. They made so many of them.
Yeah.
I never really. I mean, I still have all my comics, and like I said, I just was really bad at. Not that I was trying to like collect comics to make money, but anything I bought,
your taste was like the stuff that didn't accrue in value. Yeah.
And my brother, everything he bought was like just turned to gold. Like he got, Ninja Turtle. There it goes. Damn, these things aren't lasting very long. Ninja Turtles, I think he got into that fairly early, but it was still, a lot. But then there was this comic called Fish Police that he bought, and it just skyrocketed in price. It's probably worth nothing now. But it was one of those where,
it was like the hot thing at the time.
It was an indie comic, low print run. It was black and white explosion, and they even made a cartoon series, I think, that either lasted one season or a couple episodes or something. But
wait, it was sharks, right? It was fish.
No, it was called Fish Police. Yeah. And he bought that, and that went up. And then he was collecting this other one called not Elf Quest, but Elf Lord. It was an Aerosol title.
Oh, interesting.
And that one shot up. But he bought stuff that got real popular, and then but then over time, I think people just forgot about him. So I don't know if those are worth that much. And I don't think he still has any of his comics in his collection. I think he lost them, or some were stolen or something. But everything I bought, nothing. I don't think I have anything that's worth anything. I'm trying to think if there's anything I had as a kid that, I don't know. I mean, I think I may have had I wouldn't be like super wealthy, but like I had, I think some of the like black hole figures I had, I don't know if I had there was one old Bob. I thought I had it, but maybe I didn't. Maybe it was just Vincent. But then like the Marion like action figures worth some money. I had Blue Snaggletooth, but they're not, I mean, you might be able to get those, might go for like $1,000 or like $700 or something. I don't know how much those go for, but I don't know. But I can't think of anything I had that would be super, super, worth a lot of money. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember now. I'm blanking out. What's that channel? The YouTube channel that I was all obsessed with Ben Mara on it, where they go over like comics from the black and white boom.
Oh, I don't know. Was it not Power Comics, right?
Yeah, Power Comics.
Oh.
So, just because you were mentioning the black and white boom, and then it reminded me we need to try to get a hold of Ben Mara, because I think we could get him on.
Oh, you do? Do you know him at all, or
no? The guest you had, 2 weeks ago, knew him. So I'm like,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that we know, people that know people.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you think that'd be cool to get him.
I think it would be hilarious because I love what he's doing.
Yeah.
So. And it's so off kilter from a lot of the stuff we've had.
It's just a matter. I think it's just a matter of reaching out. I think once I start back up with the comic content and I get things rolling, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get my views to go up a little bit, and then all that kind of stuff.
Well, and most people tend to be pretty chill with appearing. My problem is just getting on the ball and finding the time to reach out. But I would love to have him on because I absolutely love what he's doing. I feel like I need to work on something comedic after. I think I'd make a pretty funny comic.
Yeah, it would be kind of just a one shot. something. I mean, everything. I guess most of the things you do are sort of one shots, but they're huge.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, actually, that could be kind of the fun of it. Is like almost kind of take a page from like Keith, where it's like he did Space Minotaur, and it's just a one shot. That might be kind of fun,
Yeah.
And because it would be like parodying like serialized work anyway, it'd be a good challenge, and then it can have like the typical serial TV show ending,
Yeah.
Maybe it ends on a cliffhanger that never turns into anything. Let's see here. In a certain era, picking up comics was like picking the cryptocurrency of its time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I do remember an era where like people would like buy and flip comics like the same day, and like within a week you'd see them on like the wall, like Death of Superman era, where like people would just have like the gold foil whatever variant, that they opened last week, and suddenly
that's still a thing, like with the toy industry. Like I collect I collect the Amigos reproductions like this. This thing this is the Spider-Man one that they just put out not too long ago, and so it was they put it out on like Disney Pulse or something like that, no, it was just on the Disney store online, and it sold out in like 10 minutes, and then they put them in the like I tried to get it and I couldn't, and they put them in the stores. Like this, the only other place you can get it was either Disney online or at the parks.
Oh wow!
So I tried to. I had a friend go out and try to find them, and they couldn't find it, and so I ended up having to pay way too much for it. But it's like, and then they just put out. I didn't even realize they were doing this, but they just put out a Fantastic Four 4-pack.
Oh, okay.
And that was sold out too. I mean, and then I guess they're probably at the park. I'm going to see if Keith can pick me one up. But but it's just like, what are they doing? I mean, there's a demand for these things. I mean, make a little more of them. But I don't know. It's just.
Well, I think it's like I know like in the event poster industry too, like a lot of event poster artists that I've known like hate flippers. Like they call them flippers.
I hate them too, but I mean,
but then again, it's like I don't know if I'd hate flippers too much, because it's like, hey, if they're buying everything and supporting you,
Well, yeah, but these are big. They're
I
buying
would
stuff
like
from
if I
big
had my
companies like
choice as a
Disney.
creator, and I had to pick between like 50 people owning something that I did and really appreciating it and reading it, right? Yeah. Or like people just like buying 50 copies and then flipping them for profit and then ripping off the people who want to read it. I think I'd prefer the people who want to read it getting it,
And again, those figures are that's not just an artist making it. That's a big company like Disney.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
But then because it's Disney, it's collectible, Disney's all big on collectibles. Which I would bash, but I paid way too much for like a Mr. Toad statue, so it was great though. It's a really good Mr. Toad statue. What would kill me is if they came out with a replica of the Mr. Toad statue that's actually on Mr. Toad's ride. Like the one where he's got his like hand crossed behind his back, and he's holding out his. They had to move it because like people kept putting cigarettes in his hand. Back when you could smoke.
Yeah.
So he was originally holding his pocket watch, but then people took out his pocket watch, and then eventually, like years later, he just had cigarette ash all over his finger.
How did they take the pocket watch? Wasn't it part of the
Well, I think it was like, I think it just, I mean, it had been around since the 50s, and eventually it just broke off, you know?
Oh, okay.
But so eventually it was just him with his hand behind his back and his hand out like this. So, of course, kids would just put cigarettes in there.
Yeah.
And then after a couple years, like, it must have been after I graduated high school, because it was still like that when I was in high school. And then like years later, it's like both his hands are behind his back, so they just replaced his arm. But anyhow, if they had that statue, I would drop a ridiculous amount of money for that.
So why the one you have? Why didn't they make it look like the statue from the thing?
Well, it's a great one though. It's him holding the deed to Toad Hall.
Oh, okay,
It's excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
That one I got. But it's funny, they don't release Toads. They made a Funko Pop a couple years back.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like, yeah.
But there's not a ton of Toad stuff, but anytime there is Toads, that goes for anybody listening to this too. If you see Toad stuff floating around, you let me know, because I love Mr. Toad. And not just the ride, I love The Wind in the Willows. Like, it's one of my all-time the way they animated Mr. Toad is hilarious to me. It's just amazing.
Did you read the actual stories and stuff?
Yeah, those are so good. I actually read them to my kid.
Oh, that's cool.
When he was a kid, too. You know, when he was a kid. When my kid was a kid.
Yeah.
But when he was little, yeah, we read The Wind in the Willows. They're very funny books.
Yeah.
It's like really self-aware. Yeah. But yeah, so anyhow, I understand the Disney stuff, but it does suck to me that, like, you know, when things are limited that don't need to be, and it's like almost like a sales thing to try to create, you know.
Well, it was something, the stipulation, the deal that Disney made with Mego, because I mean, I just never thought they, you know, I've got all the DC Mego heroes and stuff, but you know, I just thought I never thought they'd be able to do Marvel because Disney owned them, and then they were able to strike a deal. But the deal was that they can only sell them on you know, the Disney site and in the parks.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just buy them online. That'll be easy. And like, no, it's not that easy because they sell out in like 15 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah. Frickin' collectors.
Yeah. And then people go to the parks and buy up all the stocks and flip them. And
yeah. That's a problem with guitars too. That site I like so much, the Firefly guitars, they're like these Chinese import guitars that are incredible. Those, like, I'm kind of over my like guitar buying obsession.
Really? Okay.
Well, because I have like
too
many.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I mean, I agree. I just
haven't found one to make a justification for yet. But because it's like anytime I get one, I'm like, yeah, but I have I have like 3 good Telecasters. I have a good Stratocaster. You know, it's like it would have to be unusually.
Yeah.
But anyhow, those guitars though, they sell out in like overnight. Like they're released because the thing is, because it's like a small company, it's like.
Yeah.
They do like runs of like 30. And they'll
that's it. Oh wow.
So if you want a specific guitar from them, you have to like be watching for the drop date.
Right.
And then you put in, you know, your order and just hope it doesn't, like, by the time you press order, say they're out of stock, you know?
Yeah.
But the annoying thing is a lot of those people aren't even playing the guitars. They're just flipping them and selling them for like 5 times as much on eBay because they're great guitars.
Yeah.
You know? But you know what? More power to people finding a hustle, you know?
I suppose.
There's times where I feel like if I had like a ton of money, you know, I'd be really responsible with it. And then there's times where I realize like I probably wouldn't. Like the other day, I think have you ever watched like Pawn Stars? It's kind of fake.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah, it's definitely, there's some staging to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a part of me that likes old antique type things. Yeah. And so that's sucked me down the rabbit hole of like Pawn Stars. Because it's like, I kind of want to look at like old weird stuff. Because it's like why walk through an antique shop, you know, it's fun. Or pawn shops. I've always liked going to pawn shops. And it's like, but I realized, like, I saw that show and there was a point where, like, they were selling, I don't know, somebody brought in, like, like fossils, like dinosaur fossils.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, yeah, we'll buy that for like 2,000, and it's like a T-Rex thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 2,000? You could own like an actual T-Rex thing for like $2,000? Like, that seems like I don't have $2,000 to waste, but that
Right.
seems unusually cheap for a dinosaur,
Yeah.
And so
Something
then I
that's
just imagine
millions of years old.
Yeah, and I'm like, I imagine if I'm a millionaire, I could be like, I could own a velociraptor. Like, I could. So I just imagine my house wouldn't improve at all. Nothing in my life improves, but there's just dinosaur fossils in my house, just crammed everywhere.
It is kind of funny because my kids had fossils and we didn't pay a ton of money. When you think how old it is, but then again, rocks are that old too. So
Yeah. But it just seems like they're so cool. But that's where I started realizing, like, oh my gosh, if I were like really wealthy, I probably would spend stupid money. Like, because there's like, I wouldn't have the problem of like a lot of people where it'd be like, short term stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or like overspending on like a Rolex or something like that. For me, I think the problem would be like stuff like, yeah, I could have the first edition of that rare book, like that kind of stuff. I think that would get me real quick.
Yeah, I think the thing about that like when you said, it's the pawn store stars or whatever, it's kind of like. It's definitely it's rigged because there's they'll have somebody come in with something super rare and they're not going to sell it because the pawn shop guys got to make their profit or whatever.
Yeah,
and that it's already established before the guy even comes in that they're not really going to buy it. They're just coming in because they have it. Like, oh, I got this rocket firing Boba Fett, and they come in there and it's like the guy's not going to take like half of what it's worth so that the other guy can make a profit. That's what I don't understand about those things. I mean, there are people that just like don't want to deal with it, but when you could sell it online for way more than what they're going to pay you for it, why go to a pawn store place?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, notoriously, you're not going to get a great deal at a pawn shop. The only time one thing I will say though is like pawn shops were. I have a soft spot in my heart for them for the reason of when I was poor, I wanted to get a decent guitar, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the only place I could get a good guitar for like, $100 or whatever was a pawn shop. And you just go pawn shop hunting and you'd find a really good guitar for cheap. So, and then I remember also as a musician, like, sometimes you'd like, as you leveled up as a musician, like the pawn shop could be like a really good deal for like, you could come in and be like, hey, if I give you my guitar, right?
Yeah.
Can I trade up? Like you level up your guitar.
Yeah.
And it was a better deal than Guitar Center, cause, and the music shops at the time were like even worse than pawn shops. Like this mom and pop music shops would like rake you across the coals for like an off-brand, like, fake guitar, but it's a mom and pop shop,
Yeah.
And then Guitar Center would have like good deals, but again, like they would never pay good prices. They'd pay you at minimum, like maybe a third or a fourth of what it's worth. And so pawn shops would quite often for like store credit, they'd just give you like, a decent amount, for, like, on credit for you to like buy another one, So I have a soft spot in my heart because there was a good pawn shop near me growing up. Now, don't get me wrong, you wouldn't go there for loans because they're gonna screw you, and you definitely wouldn't want to like go there to like put your item on. I mean, they're very predatory businesses, but
yeah, they're not even like right now in Surprise. I don't think they're legal in here. Like, because I know, because I've talked to Matt at Surprise Comics.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that they can't even like legally like buy collections and stuff because it's viewed as sort of a pawn thing.
Oh, interesting.
It's weird.
But there is a part of me, like a hoarder type nerd in me, that like, you know, when I've read about people like looking at like paying money for a storage unit. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah, there's probably 10 different shows on that stuff.
Yeah, and like I do find that slightly, like I know that if I did it, I would end up spending money and basically get a bunch of used, disgusting clothing or something.
Right.
But there's just like a treasure hunter in my soul that I have to really keep at bay.
Yeah. See,
That
I
wants
don't even,
dinosaur skeletons all over my house.
I've got stuff that I need to get rid of that I don't even want to bother like listing on whatever Facebook Marketplace or whatever it is. Just because it's like I just don't want to bother waiting around for people to come and look at it or whatever. That's not. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing is like the better angels of me, the better when I'm at my rational self, I realize like I have everything I really need, you know. I'm not at a point where like I need more toys or junk or guitars, you know. Although I love guitars, but so it's like I don't really need to like fill my house with more stuff that's just going to be in a, you know, landfill when I go, you know.
Yeah.
But like I said, anytime I like go down that road of like, you know, it's kind of like if you're like getting into whiskey and then you're like, man, older whiskey's really good, you know, and then you start looking and you're like, man, I bet that $6,000 bottle of whiskey is pretty good, but I'm not gonna touch it, you know.
Right.
But then if you put yourself in a position where you had like $1 million, I don't know, that'd be like equivalent to like a $20 bottle of whiskey, you know, which was like,
yeah,
it's just weird how that can scale, I think, for people. I mean, I hope I wouldn't be like that, but I'm just saying I've thought about it and realized like it would be very easy to fall into that where your just tastes get more expensive. You know?
Right. I mean, I've had times where I've like had, you know, a really good year, and then, but typically I'm buying if that's happening, I'm buying like stuff for the business, like new Wacoms, new, you know, whatever. But, you know, but I can't lie and say that I didn't buy a few more toys on really, really, really good years. So,
yeah, I feel like when I've had good years, in general, my spending doesn't change too much. The one weakness I have is guitars. That's just my big weakness. And it's funny because it's not like I'm not the worst with guitars because guitars are very expensive. Like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it's just a very expensive thing to like a cheap guitar is expensive, you know. I think a lot of people, if you were like, man, I got this toy for a steal, it was only $200, you know, people would be like, that's very expensive, you know, like.
Right.
Whereas with a guitar, that's like crazy cheap. Like if you get a decent guitar for $200, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's always interesting to me. Makes me a little less judgmental of the rich. I tend to not like rich people. So, do you have a class warrior in you at all?
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily rich people. It's like mega rich people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more billionaires than millionaires.
Yeah. Well, that gets just crazy.
Yeah.
Like to think that. To have so much money that you could spend like $1 million a day, you know, and not run out.
Yeah.
That's just insane. Like,
yeah.
Or to have like the net worth that's like larger than like a lot of countries. That's just,
yeah.
I don't know. It's very strange. Yeah. What's your vice though? Like, do you have an equivalent to like The guitar thing?
I don't think I really have vices. I mean, I'm pretty, I have I guess a lot of self-control, but,
What's your
but
Victorian vice?
yeah. No, I mean, I like, there's certain there's certain toys and things that just recently, but I'm not like a huge toy collector. I watch like Gaz's videos and like,
Toys are so cool, though.
yeah. He's got,
They are
like,
really cool. Like, I definitely have moments still where I'll like see a toy and be like, that looks so fun. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really know that I have any like vices, other than, if you could call drawing a vice, or like just being creative, or I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see here. Okay, so she's pulling on her gloves now. What a weird... Okay. Just trying to kind of figure this one out real quick.
Yeah, I do. I will have to remember to photograph the pencils of this thing, because it's funny, because that's all this work is just, it's, once you start inking, it's just gone. Isn't that kind of a weird thing when you think about it? It's just, I'm just covering up all this work that I'm doing.
Yeah, it's tough too, because it's like I try to be a little looser with my pencils,
Yeah.
But like, it is so much easier to ink when you have it all kind of pretty much worked out.
Yeah. But it's weird, because like, this is like, the way I'm penciling this is like if I was inking with microns, because you're making the thickness of the lines, because you're not going to get the thickness of the lines with this pencil. So you're basically going over things. That's why when I look at, because I think Art Adams does everything in microns. I don't think he uses a brush. And I look at his stuff and I'm like, it's beautiful, but man, if you used a brush, you could get that line in one stroke.
Yeah. I mean, I like using microns a lot, but I feel like brush is kind of my favorite.
Oh yeah.
But I do think like there are things in micron that like, or if I didn't use micron, I'd need a quill or something. Well, I'm not to the point with the brush like Craig Thompson to me is mind blowing when you see his work.
Mm-hmm.
Partially because like most of it's brush. I think it's like 98% brush work. And I'm not that good with brush, where I can just do straight brush and dry. And I'm not super great with dry brush yet.
That's one thing that I'm going to try to practice more on this. Like this splatter here. I don't know if you can see there. Well, now that I guess you can't see it now that I moved away from the light box.
I see it though.
Yeah. So where I really want to like, because right now it just looks like blood coming out, but I think I also want to have some like dry brush, like explosion, So
yeah, do the toothbrush splatter.
Well, I'll do some kind of splatter. I want to do some kind of splatter, like white ink over this when I do it. Yeah,
that's so fun.
Yeah, I really want to experiment with a lot more of that kind of stuff.
All right. Adam said his dry brush technique blows my mind. I just think just any artist that can kind of use like one tool with so much variety, and yet like you can tell it's quick. That's to me the most impressive thing about Thompson stuff is like some of it'll look so beautiful, but it's like if he like slowed just for like a millisecond, the speed of his brush, it would just be like crap, you know?
Yeah, I've got to get some Craig Thompson books because the only one I have is Space Dumplings, and I know that's more of a young adult. That's not like
you don't have Blankets?
I don't have. I've never read Blankets. I don't.
Oh, dude. Okay, that's where you should start. Or
Yeah.
Goodbye Chunky Rice is great too.
Yeah, I know. It's like just one of those things.
For visual stunningness, Habibi is amazing. It's probably like the most visually impressive work he's made, but the story, in my opinion, kind of is just.
That's his latest one, right? No, his latest one is what's the one that he just
Oh, I
put out?
haven't read that one yet. The ramen or not? It's not ramen. It's I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah.
It's the root.
Ginseng
roots. Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet because I was gonna wait for the trade. I don't know if they've released it yet.
I think they have, but I'm not sure.
So I should pick that up. But Habibi was the one before that it kind of looks almost like a Quran, like the way it was the art. It is incredible art, but it's just like the story's disturbing to me.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, it's just not. I don't think it's, personally, I don't think it's a bad book, and I think the story's noteworthy, but I don't think it's like near as good as like Blankets. Blankets is just like it's like a perfect story, and then the art's amazing too. It's like perfect together. Whereas I think Habibi is just like on an art note, it is like mind-bogglingly. Just the art is unbelievable. Like it's there's just not a lot of artists who could do that. But again, the story is a little more kind of like bizarre, and not really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Little too rapey for me.
Okay.
And it's funny because my wife really likes Craig Thompson's work too, and she read it and felt the same way. Because I was like, am I weird for like thinking this is a little weird? Like, and not like weird like Daniel Klaus weird,
Right.
But that's not. But I will say, just if you were looking for the best visual example, if you just want the art, Habibi's probably his best work.
Okay.
With art wise.
Yeah.
But if you want art and story, then I'd say.
Well, I would
Blankets.
definitely start with Blankets because that's his, that's probably his,
Yeah, Blankets is amazing, and really free and loose. Whereas Habibi's like tight and impossible. Chunky Rice, Goodbye Chunky Rice is good too.
Is that one still in print? You
Yes.
don't hear much about it. That was his first one, right?
Yeah, I think he might have been nominated for an Eisner for that one too. But it's amazing. He got the Zarek for that.
Oh wow!
But it's like it's just a really sweet story. But Goodbye Chunky Rice is more kind of like cartoony.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see his evolution and stuff as an artist. It's really cool. Space Dumplings is cool too.
It's fun, yeah.
But Blankets is like one of those books like I don't know. For me, it was like impactful for me, to read. And true. Like, it's just one of those like somebody ripping their heart out and putting it on a page kind of thing. It's amazing. But yeah, Adam's right. He was saying Chunky Rice is visually cartoony, but still very sweet and serious and personal. Yeah, and it's incredible. It's very adventurous too. It's like a sea voyage, but it's all about friendship and love. It's kind of the same story. It's funny. I feel like reading. Adam was saying, Scott, just get all of them. Yeah. I feel like Blankets would be the way to go, and then read Goodbye Chunky Rice, which he wrote before Blankets. Because it's like the same story. It's just one is told as like a metaphor and an allegory, and then the other is like just literal. It's really interesting.
So other than like Space Dumplings, does he have like an underlying theme to his work? Or is it all different? Is each thing totally different?
So Blankets is like a first love kind of story, and like also about somebody who was raised in a really religious environment. like breaking from that religion.
Okay.
And deals with like abuse and first love, and it's like wildly amazing.
Yeah.
But it's mostly about like, yeah, like having to go to like Jesus camps and stuff. Like, and it's interesting. It's a good book. Yeah. And then Goodbye Chunky Rice is about like two friends that one ends up moving away, and they end up going on like a sea voyage. And but they're like animals. So yeah. And that one's amazing for just the way he does water, and like the cartooning's beautiful in it. But Blankets is just like hands down just like an amazing book. Did you ever read Box Office Poison or anything by like Alex Robinson?
No.
Oh, that's another one you should read. I'm gonna just sorry.
No, yeah. I mean, because I hadn't read Chris Ware until you harped on him so much that I got to check this out. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just a lot of these really critically acclaimed cartoonists, I just haven't read their work yet.
Dude, Box Office Poison, I feel like is it's funny because it like made a big mark when it came out. And then it feels like everybody just kind of leaves Alex Robinson like out of the discussion. When that book is like, it's one of the best graphic novels ever made, but like hardly anyone talks about it anymore. That's weird. I always feel like he's one of the underrated guys, like Alex Robinson. But that book in particular is just like, for like a group dynamic type book, it's really good. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm rambling.
No,
She's saying there are confidences she and I have shared. Okay. Yeah, Adam was saying like Space Dumplings is probably the most fun.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
His other stuff's like super heavy.
Yeah.
Even Goodbye Chunky Rice, it starts out kind of cute and Space Dumplings-ish, and then it ends up being like just gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you know? Okay. I just got to write this real quick. There
my camera's probably going to die again.
are confidences. It's like a spy movie, Scott. You got to have like a level on your cameras.
Yeah. I got to figure something out. I'm just not used to streaming this long.
Well, it may not be healthy to stream this long.
Yeah, I may have to call it. It's 2 now, so I might call it when the camera goes dead. I probably do.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. What? What's up?
Oh, I said I might have to call. It's 2 now, so I might have to call it when my camera goes dead because
I
need to get some sleep. So.
Yeah, I think I might just kind of finish this panel and then maybe we'll call it. Because I got to be somewhat functional tomorrow.
Yeah. But I made a lot of progress.
Yeah, that's the fun part about this. Thanks for hanging out.
Sure.
Thanks to everybody in the chats for hanging out. You guys are amazing. Night Gang is back, guys. Night Gang.
Yes. I don't think I've ever been on the Night Gang. Really?
Yeah. Well, just the times allowed for it, you know?
Yeah.
I know that if I am doing live streams after, like, I'll probably be doing some more kind of daytime ones maybe the next week, but I know that within a week or so, these will most likely be, like, evening streams. Because I'll have, you know, day job stuff, you know? By the way, what you were saying about the bear is so dead on, because it's like it's an incredible show, but like it is really tense.
Yeah,
it's like a really high pressure show.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of like
would've
watching ER, which you wouldn't imagine with
Right.
like a cooking thing, but it definitely is. Like,
Yeah, I don't. And if this happens, don't spoil it. But I'm watching this thing. I'm keep waiting for somebody to chop their fingers off with a knife. So they're in, and I'm like, oh, this is making me kind of nervous too. But yeah, but I would have continued to watch it.
yeah, I mean, I will say, of everything I've watched over the summer, like Dune included, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not Andor. Andor's pretty amazing. Dune's amazing too, but it's like I think that The Bear, strangely enough, is probably my favorite writing that I've seen maybe since Andor. It's like just really like perfectly written show. I was just kind of stunned by it. All right, I'm gonna save this one. I think I'm gonna call it.
Okay, cool.
We got some roughs done. That's good. Scott, you made really good progress, man.
Yeah. It definitely will be ready for the retreat.
Oh man, I love it. Well, thanks guys. Thanks for everybody who tuned in the chats. Scott, why don't you let people know where to find your stuffs?
You can find me at the right under my name, circworks.com. From there, you can get to all my social media. You can get to my YouTube channel. You can get to my Patreon, my online store. It's all up there at circworks.com.
Awesome. And then, you know where to find me. It's right here. And if you haven't hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications when we're about to go live. And if you haven't yet, please consider buying 2 Stories or Jacob's Apartment, my 2 graphic novels. They're what the cool indie kids are reading. And then aside from that, also check out music under Joshua Kemble or No Saboteurs. The Sun Eventually Sets on Everything is the latest album by No Saboteurs. It's on all streaming platforms everywhere. Thank you to everybody in the chats. Thanks to our community. Wasn't kidding when I was talking to Scott about how much I love our little art community. I feel like we have made our own little tribe, and that's pretty cool. I feel like I don't know. I feel like a positive comics community is a rare thing and worth enjoying and cherishing. All right, I will see you guys on the next live one. Goodbye.
We'll see ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to crumble!
I'm Joshua Kemble, and welcome to Joshua Kemble's live stream. I've been a freelance illustrator and graphic designer for over 20 years. I was an art director for 9 years. And when I'm not art directing and working on illustrations and graphic designs, I'm working on comic books and graphic novels, and that's usually what I do during my streams. And while conversations can go all over the place on this stream, from spicy and entertaining to goofy and silly, one thing stays consistent throughout every stream. I'll always be working on art. So pull up a chair, get your art supplies out, and get ready for an entertaining show that'll keep you company while you work on your own personal art projects. This is Joshua Kemble's Art Stream.